Hey, Choreo lover. Hey, Triple Darkness. Wild Card, Miss Pretty Wings. How y'all doing today? Happy Sunday, everybody. Hey, Tamika. How's everybody doing today? Let's get it in. How you doing? Hey, Just Ned. How you doing? So, guys, could you please, if you don't mind, please hit the like button on your way in the door. It helps the video get into the algorithm. We know that I have been very sporadic forever, so anything anything you could do to help get the video in the algorithm is greatly appreciated. Oh, I'm doing okay, Tamika. On this Sunday morning. Hey, Monroe, how you doing? Trey says, "Hey, Miss Olivia, I know that Dory and all of them had a F to talk and talk about your child. We gonna talk about it, Trey." Hey, Mia S. Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. Like I said this morning. And well, this afternoon. So this afternoon I want to talk a little bit about pretty much the week in review and the main things that's been going on around here, in my opinion. um this past week has been the low value man, the low value X man, that's been coming in. Enjoy life. How you doing, Sassy Francis? How you doing? That's been coming into the beef sector, that's coming to the beef sector, or attempting to anyway, and doing his commentary and and trying to pretty much, in my opinion, ride roughshod. Y'all hit the one if y'all can hear me, okay? Right? Because I'm on my phone and you know. So trying to come in and ride roughshod, pretty much over the sector, okay? And when it comes to this sector, I find it very interesting. And y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Hey, Bob Marley. Thanks for letting me know that y'all can hear me. Okay, thanks, guys. So anyway, that's kind of what I want to talk about today. I wanted to talk about. I find it very interesting how um not a lot of people want to confront this low value man, and his rhetoric. He's spewing it over here. Not he's speaking not derogatorily, not only about black women, but also about gay men. And we know that in this sector is predominantly black woman and gay men, right? So I find it very interesting how not a lot of people really want to touch on the subject. But y'all know me, I'm gonna touch on the subject, right? And I don't like to give anybody any type of publicity, be it good or bad. But this is a very good conversation, in my opinion, because in my opinion, you have a lot of people, um, some people, especially women, some women, I'm gonna say some women, pretty much coddling this guy. I don't know if they're afraid of him, and I hope you guys know who I'm talking about, right? Somebody put in the chat if you know who I'm talking about. I really don't want to say the name. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't like to give people promotion. Certain types of promotion. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel that it's necessary, especially when they're problematic. Okay, in the first place. Hey, Red Snapper, how you doing? And so anyway, yeah. So hey, True Black Cheetah. Coriel, thank you. Hey, on site, how you doing, girl? Devin Bucks, how you doing? Black Beauty, how you doing? So anyway, if you know, somebody put it in the chat for Devin, okay? And so anyway, um, when the first came into the sector, um, I mean, he started off problematic in my opinion, because he started out he jumped on Jay. Thank you, Fifi. He jumped up on Jay Wilson's panel, and they went at it about the Bible and all of this and all of that, and it's a sin to be, it's a sin to be gay and all of this and all that, quoting all these Bible, scriptures and all of this and all that. And like I said, if you're new to the sector and you're coming in, speaking Yes, Tamika. They put the name in the chat. Hey Monica, how you doing? And so I just didn't feel that was like I said, the sector, as we know, is predominantly gay man and black woman, right? So you're disrespecting, and you throwing shots at the gay men, which on Jay Wilson's panel, who is a gay man. But I find it very interesting, as well as black women. Now you got some black women that feel like, well, he ain't talking about me, and I like him. Yes, he is talking about you. Okay, he is talking about you because he has clear. If you listen to the way that he speaks derogatorily about black women, say he's calling and he's come at certain black women in particular. He's come at me. He's come at a Five and of course Cookie Monster. But we're talking about beef sector this morning, right? Because they have their own thing going on. They had their thing going on. He is very verbally abusive. I agree. Um, uh, yeah, but him and Cookie, they had their thing going on way before the beef sector. It just kind of has, it's over here now because they're doing commentary over here, right? And so, but that's spilling over to our sector, which is fine. Everybody love a good piece of entertainment. We'll speak briefly about that too. But first, I just wanted to say it would appear to me that some people, I don't know if they're afraid to speak up about what he's saying, the very inflammatory things that he's saying, and flat out disrespectful. Hi, Miss Tree Trisha, how you doing? Clyde, Clyde, 50%. How you doing? Miss Queenie, how you doing? So anyway, but like I said, Jay Wilson, I'm gonna stop reading the chat for a minute, y'all, because I want to get it out. Like I said, Jay Wilson, he had a back and forth with him, and Jay Wilson gonna do Jay Wilson. I mean, if he think he gonna get a click and a view out of it, that's what he's going to do. Uh, but and I think that he was offended also. What I mean? But it is what it is. Jay Wilson, there ain't nobody going ruffle his feathers, right? Yeah, he's been on trees, and he's been on. Thank you for saying that, Mia, because he's been on several panels. As a matter of fact, mentioning Tracy, he came on Tracy's panel. She asked him not to, curse. He kept cursing. He kept bucking her like he was bucking Jay Wilson. You know what I mean? And she was and they were talking about the subject of homosexuality, and the Bible, and she was giving him definitions of words. And I have never ever seen anybody argue the definition, the Webster's definition of a word. I'm like, really? This what we doing? So you're gonna go against these people that has defined thousands upon thousands of words, okay? Giving description of the word and the word meaning, but you know more than Webster know. Okay, right. Okay. Um. Uh. Chloe Oliver says, I think some women think that it's right to let a male lead. Some men. You're absolutely Chloe Oliver. You're absolutely right about that. And it's more than about women thinking that the man should lead. They are used to abuse. Or they think it's normal. For him to launch all these very derogatory attacks on women, but we know that our women ain't going. Okay, and I'm one of them. OracleSpeaks. I am having issues with mobility today. Oh, let me go back up, y'all. Issues with mobility today, but I know before I leave your chat, I'm going to be laughing and feel. Thank you, Miss T. Trisha, and I'm so sorry. You're not feeling well today. I hope you get to feeling better, babes. I hope you get to feeling better. Y'all pray for Miss. Please pray for Miss T. Trisha that she gets to feeling better. Okay. Anyway, y'all. Monroe said I ain't going either. Can you scroll up to my comment? Okay, April, let me see. I'll feel better, Miss T. Trisha. Is that the one, April? Let me see if there's another one. That's a hell of a name, Clyde 50. Is that the one you wanted me to see? Yeah, absolutely. Feel better, Miss T. Trisha. But anyway, y'all, let me finish. Okay, so um, like I said, he came in. To me, from what I get from last night, he's giving off snapped evil lives her types of vids. I agree with that, Tamika. You know what I mean? About my son. I didn't see it. Let me try to scroll back up. Tiffany Love, how you doing? I see the one you saying about scroll up to the comment. Then I saw Feel Better, Miss T Trisha. Then I saw hell of a name, Clyde 50, Sis Mia, Beautiful Songbird. I don't see it, April. You might have to please type it out for us again, okay? Because I don't see it, love. Cool. Yeah, I don't see it. Can you please retype it? Because I'll be sure to read it if you retype it, April, okay? Yeah, I don't see it, April. For whatever, she says so he's ZX another Timmy. So yes, absolutely. Absolutely, April. Absolutely. But I don't know what you said about your son. If you could just retype it for me. I see some new people have entered the room. Could you guys please hit the like button so that we could get the video in the algorithm? I appreciate it. Thank you guys. So anyway, where did I start? Let so I was giving you a rundown on this guy, all right? This low level this misogynistic a-hole, right? And so uh he's coming to the sector. He's trying to I think I was on the Jay Wilson's part. But he was trying, he's trying to ride roughshod over the sector, right? And I don't understand why and maybe some people may be comfortable with the things that he's saying because it's not like we've heard those words before from from some of the black gay men over here. You know what I mean? But I think it hits different for some people, and it hits different for me, because he says that he's a heterosexual man, right? And that hits different for me because that means you are putting that amp in your voice and you trying to move something, right? And for me, I don't care what kind of amp you put in your voice, you're not moving me. The only thing you moving me to do is cause you slap the fuck out. That's how you moving me. You see what I'm saying? But for a lot of people, they're not wanting to they are not wanting to engage with him. You retyped it. Okay, April. I still don't see it. Let me go back up again. The last one I see, April, is so he's another Tammy Sotomayor. That's the one I see. Hey, Lady Chia, how you doing? Tipping in real quick to Family Day. Enjoy your enjoy your day too, Sunday too. Hey, Geech Girl TV, how you doing, love? Truth never fails. How you doing? Still Shady 405 says a lot of women and men don't know the difference in a male and a man. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. Being born male doesn't make you right. And I'm supposed to allow you to talk to me any kind of way. You're absolutely right about that. Still Shady, and I'm glad you said that. There's a difference between exerting your male energy as opposed to exuding, you know, male energy as opposed to um masculine or man energy. Do you see what I'm saying? Because a man's energy, masculine energy doesn't require you to verbally beat down online a woman. Do you see what I'm saying? Or even a gay man. If you are secure in your masculinity, you don't run around and try to lord over people, and try to insert your insert your ideals or whatever. And who knows if this um not to chime in before I know what the shot is. Okay, George Butler. Excuse me, manners. How you doing, Fifi? I wish you'd come back over there where you're from and lead the section of YouTube. Like, I absolutely agree. Because it's very sometimes it's better. I would rather deal with the devil I know. Just let me put it that way, right? So when y'all know I've been back and forth with a whole bunch of men over here in our beef sector, right? That do beef sector commentary. We got the Sean Bradleys, we got the Jay Wilsons, we got we got Spiller Boy TV, Food Junkie, and the list goes on because that's right, Miss T Trisha. The key word here is secure, right? Because if you are securing your masculinity, like I said, you don't have to try to lord over or insert yourself or even usurp somebody else's space. And he's trying to um yeah, if he was an alpha man, he would feel that he needed to do that. I agree. I think so, April. Could you word it differently? Take a look at my community wall about myself. Okay. Okay, April, I will as soon as I get off of here. So let me get this out, right? And so anyway, yeah, if you are secure in your masculinity, like I said, you wouldn't feel the need to try to usurp somebody, and, or try to lord over them or try to beat them over the head with what you feel is right. Okay, now a perfect example of this guy trying to beat somebody over the head with what he thinks is right. Number one, the first example we have is when he was on Jay Wilson's panel. Now he's been on Jay Wilson's panel a couple of times, and he always wants to stir the conversation for to you're gay and the Bible says it's a sin for you to be gay, right? So I'm thinking that he was doing this in an effort to try to take some of Jay Wilson's female subscribers, right? But my thing is, you can get more with honey than you can boo boo, right? And that's pretty much not the way to go about it. You know what I mean? And then he's all fluff, in the first place. He is this is his version of playing the YouTube game. But when you come into this sector that is predominantly black female and black gay male, you're gonna have to change your game plan. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that's not gonna work for everybody. And my thing is, I don't understand why not. You got a lot of people, you got a lot of Spill It Boy supporters. You got a lot of Jay Wilson supporters. You got a lot of Sean Bradley supporters. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't see why not only why aren't they speaking out, maybe they aren't speaking out because they feel like he not talking to them, but yes, he's talking to you too. And they know, because if you're talking about homosexuality is a sin, then he is absolutely talking to y'all. He is absolutely talking to Jay Wilson. And Jay Wilson, like I said, he done been back and forth with him. He is absolutely talking to Spill It Boy. He is absolutely talking to Sean Bradley. He is absolutely talking to Food Junkie, and whoever else. And he absolutely was talking about what is his name, QB, because QB is cool with Phi Babe. Now he's been going at Phi Babe tough because he thinks that, and the reason why he's going with back and forth with so tough with Phi Babe in particular is because that he feels like she's got all the numbers, she's got the most popular platform, so he wants to go back and forth with her. This is his game plan. Do you see what I'm saying? He really don't even have nothing against her. He just wants to try to usurp her channel, right? So, but we know that Phi Babe is strong, and she's not going to allow him to do that. Do you see what I'm saying? But the way he's going about it, um, absolutely, and you can support who you want to support. Now, just let me say this. Let me say this. Um, he's Rick Reed. Yeah, we got Rick Reed. We got Conscious TV. We got all these men, right? All these gay men, right? And so, who's very handsome? Anyway, so, um, yeah, I don't know why more of these men are not speaking up. Like I said, and then maybe they feel like he's not talking to them, but yes, he is. Okay. Um, do you think they are afraid of him or just minding their own business? Well, see, it's not about minding your own business. Do you see what I'm saying? Because he's talking about their business. And for them to think that he's not talking about them is unfortunate. Because, see, I can get on here and I can say what I want to say and I can be called homophobic. Do you see what I'm saying? But I haven't heard any of the gay men call him out on his clear homophobia. Now, if I'm going up against a gay man, I went up against I made a video about Sean Bradley not too long ago, and a lot of the women, said that this is homophobia, this is that and the other. Now, I was talking to Sean Bradley in particular, okay? But he is talking about to be gay you're gonna burn in hell. Do you see what I'm saying? And so that's talking about all the gay men over here, right? And it's fine if they don't want to get in. You got a right to do and say what you want to do. Just like it's fine if the women still want to follow him. I'm just speaking for me. And in my opinion, he is very abusive. He is very disrespectful to women, and some women don't mind, and that's absolutely their choice. And they have every right to follow him if they want to, just like I have every right to present my commentary on my channel the way I want to. You see how that works? Okay. I feel like he's talking about me when he talks about black women. Absolutely, that's the way I feel about it, Choreo lover, because he says it with such vitriol. Do you see what I'm saying? And like I said, he's on here trying to come over here and rough ride a whole lot of people's platforms. See, this is what happens when some people, and like I said, and then let me backtrack. And I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again because this is the weekend review, right? They come from the how can you be homophobic? I thought phobia meant fearful, uh, and you're not scared. I'm the well, they said I was homophobic. You gotta ask them, not me. But anyway, just because he's going against people they don't like, so they support. You're right about that, Osai April. You're right about that. Just because he's going against people that they don't like, they gonna support him. I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely don't, no matter what. You know what I mean? And so, but it is what it is. But like I said, people got a right to support who they want to support. The entire black section is coming for the beef section subbies. Um, B section subbies. They don't want a merger. They want they want the subs. They want this sector. Do you see what I'm saying? But and a couple of them have tried it. We saw that Clyde Diva chick, try it. She was over here. They was uplifting her first, and all this and all that. Then when they got tired of it, they kind of kicked her by the wayside. And that's another example. Okay, she start going left, and she got kicked by the wayside, right? People start doing commentary about the weird stuff that was going on her channel and all of this and all that. She kept coming at a whole lot of people over here, myself included. Lots of low value men are in the B sector. You was saying I had to block one. Well, there's low value men all over the internet. Okay, so I would agree with you. I would agree with you. You see what I'm saying? And so, but we're talking about this one low value man today in particular. We're talking about one, this one right here. And we're talking about him in particular. Why doesn't he go to the manosphere? In my opinion, he doesn't go to the manosphere because if he can't, he's very sensitive. It would appear to be that he's very thin skinned and he exudes a lot of feminine energy. And he's not going to be able to make it over there. Now, I don't know if he's tried to go over there or not, but he wants to be the Lord and Master. And if you don't agree with everything that he's saying, you are now his enemy. He is very thin skinned. And so he's not going to make it over there. I don't even know if he's ever tried to go over there because he loves to, abuse his men. They know which women to go after. Okay, it's like you got a sign on your back. If you got some kind of low self esteem, if you got if you are prone to be a domestic violence victim or whatever, and he's going to go for you. He's got several women over there, that rock with him, and what he does is he make himself seem like a victim so that they will want to protect him, okay, because he is a black man, okay. Whether he's abusive or not, they still feel the need to protect him. Number one, I don't know. Like I said, you got a right to support who you want to support. But if you think he's not talking about you, he talking about you. It's a lot of black women that support somebody like a Tommy Sotomayor. Well, he ain't talking to me. I love Tommy Sotomayor. He's telling the truth. It's not a darn thing that he can say that comes out of his mouth to me. That's the truth. That's the same way I feel about this man. Do you see what I'm saying? And so That's why I'm doing the video, right? Because like I said, we're doing a week in review. He is very problematic. He is problematic with his mouth. Okay. And not even a lot of black female content creators over here are willing to speak out against him. But they'll speak out, about somebody like a Clyde Diva. Do you see what I'm saying? Now we had an incident, but you won't speak out against this man. Now I don't know if they're afraid of his mouth. I don't know. If they feel away because if they want to protect him because he's a black man. I don't know what that mentality is right there. I don't know if they agree with him, but I don't agree with him, and so I'm speaking out on it, right? And so, yeah, he does. Yes, all he does is use them. I've never even heard him mention it. So he says he's pro black. Okay. Men like him have to stay around women, because when they stay around mentally wrong, especially a group of men, they begin to feel inadequate, and like the attention. Yeah, they begin to feel inadequate. Now this guy, women protect Kiki too. Well, see, Kiki is a different story, and like I said, sometimes, I would prefer the devil I know. Okay. And one of the devils that I know, if you will, is Kiki. And not only Kiki, but this guy is another level. He's another level because number one, Kiki, I don't see Kiki trying to usurp nobody's channel. This guy is coming over here. He's being rude to everybody. He's trying to verbally beat down the people over here that put out content. Like I said, you got a lot of gay men over here putting out content. You got a lot of black women putting out content. He wants to rough ride over everybody else that's putting out content. There is no way to come into a new situation. Like, who does that? You know? And it don't make no sense. And the only thing he's doing, he's putting his bass in his voice, okay? And he's using these weak reads or whatever, if you will, these weak, very, this, like he's talking about just the stuff that he says is real remedial and it's real juvenile, and he loves to use the word be. He's very aggressive in his tone. I'm very aggressive in my tone. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not worried about his tone. But evidently they were worried about my tone last night. We got to talk about that too. Don't let me forget, right? What happened on Dory's panel? You know, but scared of male content creator. Well, now Kiki and him was on Tracy's panel the other day, and Kiki was going back and forth with him, and he dropped down off of um Tracy's panel. I found it very interesting. Okay, I found it very interesting that he dropped down. When Kiki was going at him. You know, you know, look like okay, period. If the homosexual men in the sector are concerned, let them handle him. It's none of my business. Period. Well, I mean, I'm in the B sector, and I'm talking about it because I want to talk about it. You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's why I'm talking about it. Pasha Tay. All right. Then they see how subscribers will attack anyone that doesn't. Absolutely. Sure do. I was trying to keep up with these comments, guys, and I really can't. That bass. Yeah, the bass ain't scaring nobody. It ain't scaring me because I got a lot of bass in my voice too. I am not impressed. The only thing is once it's gonna make see, and the reason why um he's problematic to me in particular is cause when he's exuding that bass in his voice, what that bass in his voice and the words that come out of his mouth, what that does to me is it makes me the wolf want to bite his head off. Okay, it inspires me to bite his head and rip it from his body. That's all it do to me. Now for somebody else, I don't know. They might be scared of the bass in his voice. Maybe they think that's normal speech. Now, if you are a woman and you think it's normal for a man to speak with you this way, to speak to you that way, let me tell you, it's not normal. Okay? If you think that it's normal, um, for a heterosexual male to speak to a heterosexual female this way, you are confused because you don't have to be disrespected. Maybe some women don't even see it as respect because, like I said, you have a lot of women, the women that support him and stand in front of him and try to protect him. They see it as he's not talking to me. He's talking about these da 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 type of women. No, honey, he's talking about you too. Okay, I'm just saying. He talking about you too, cause clearly, like he's darn near growling, when he's speaking, about some women like a Fire Babe or me or even a Cookie Monster or a Jazzy person. And like I said, that Jazzy and what he got going on with Jazzy and what he got going on with Cookie Monster, that happened. That started way before they came over here. You know, Shay says, "What I don't understand is when you went up and asked a question, she asked about a video when that's not why you went up there." Yeah, yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Okay. Well, yeah, it's not. It's the way they use the vase, the base. Pasha said, "Hey, Levon." Pasha said, "My dad, husband, and brothers all have bass up. Mine too. In their voice, it's called testosterone. We actually have estrogen and testosterone, as do they. Anyway, we have estrogen. And the males in this sector have spoken for words. Like I said, sometimes it's about the devil you know. All right, we don't know this devil right here. This devil is like a vortex. Is it that their tone is no, not necessarily. We both have estrogen and testosterone in us, men and women, and my husband and my dad when he was alive, and I got a lot of nephews. I have a lot of men in my family. Okay. And yes, they have bass in their voice, but just because you have bass in your voice don't mean I'm gonna let you disrespect me. The men in my family don't disrespect me. Okay. Whether they have bass in their voice or not, there's no disrespect going on here. We're not doing that. Okay? That's what we're not going to do. Whether you got bass in your voice or you a squeaky as a little mouse, okay? What you're not going to do is disrespect me. I don't care. Point blank, period. Man, woman, or child. We don't do the disrespect. Until the moment he does, talk about them. And see, that's another that's what I mean about protecting this fool. That's what I'm talking about. We have seen so many women defect from his camp, even the ex mod. Yeah, really, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I know very little. I'm going by what I see on the screen. Do you see what I'm saying? And we know that people over there, they get down a different type of way. Do you see what I'm saying? And I don't want to know nothing about who he lay with or his whatever they got going on because they like to dox each other. I mean, we dox over here too, but it will appear to me that it's on another whole level. You know what I mean? And then then my thing is, if you want to put your foot down or break these women, my thing is, if you got so much, toxic masculinity, why don't you go this hard up against the men? I don't understand that. Like I said, him and Kiki got into it on Tracy's panel, right? Has he done a video about Kiki? I know he did one about Jay Wilson, but has he done a video about Kiki? Hmm? You got to pay attention to what's going on. Well, that's disgusting, goddess. All right? It's disgusting. Chandy, so Candace said there are women who have been long term conditioned by men, yes, who have spoken to them in that manner, right? Subconsciously, they know it's wrong, but they're trained to cape for it. You're absolutely right about that. So let's talk about that, okay? And he does see Kiki as worth it. Oh, you mean he doesn't? Okay. Yeah, 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 I can see that Astro Kid, because he feel like, well, I'm not gonna deal with this guy. He don't have a large platform anyway. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he is a runner when he is approached by men. Jay Wilson is, absolutely, absolutely. William Carruthers says so true. Like I've said, my voice has been deep at 16. And my mom would tell me plenty of times, boy, you better take that bass out your voice. Right, Mr. Carruthers, you're right about that. You're right about that. The bass will get you popped upside of your head in my house. Okay? Yes, it will. I don't understand why it's so horrible when we have disrespect in this sector 24/7. Absolutely. I mean, you don't understand why I feel that he's so horrible, Red Snapper. Is that what you're asking? And yes, we do have disrespect in this sector 24/7. But like I said, sometimes it's about the devil you know. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, I don't appreciate nobody trying to rule over me, okay, or rule over this sector and assert their own beliefs. So when you come in here like you're a preacher and you ain't no preacher, you just some wretched ass low value man, okay? You come in here talking about, well, you're gonna burn in hell. I'm gonna beat you over the head with this Bible, cause you don't, cause it's wrong to be gay. Do you see what I'm saying? Or if you're a woman, you need to stay in your place. Do you see what I'm saying? You need to stay behind the man. Your place is behind the man. You can't teach nobody nothing, which he said to me. Okay? When you come in here and you acting like that, this is the kind of video you gonna get. Okay? I'm just saying. You know. And so, man versus man. Here's the thing: there's not no man versus man. He don't want to be man versus man. Pasha Tay. He want to be man versus woman. Look at the way he's going after Cookie. Like I said, they stuff started way before they got out of here. Look at the way he go at that Jazzy girl about her. He's about her children, which is probably some kind of sexual frustration when it comes to that Jazzy girl and her children. That's what that's about. If you ask me, you know. Thank you, Miss T. Tricia. Well, I mean, I understand that, Red Snapper, but we're not talking about them right now. We're talking about this new devil, okay? That's who we're talking about. We're not talking about Kiki. We're not talking about Sean Bradley. We're not talking about Rick Reed, okay? We're talking about that guy over there that's trying to come over here and run something. I agree with you, Miss T3. That's who we talking about. I don't think that Cookie acts like a guy at all. I disagree. I disagree. I don't think that she acts like a guy at all. Why? You know, shiny new thing, shaking the table. He won't just he won't last just like no, he won't last. No, I agree with that. Or Cloud J speaks now. I do agree with that. He is the latest shiny object, but it's a perfect example. The reason why I'm talking about it today, because he is a perfect and I done got all, you know, I've been watching Cookie for a long time. Me and her have gone to battle together against some people in the black sector. So yeah, I do too, Tabby Cat. It's just a distraction. Okay, I'm just saying. It takes balls to show up to a man's home after you said you were. Yeah, we ain't even talking about that. They don't seem to care. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, nobody asking you to care. And I can talk about, and I'm not trying to handle anything. I'm just doing my commentary. And I can talk about what I want to talk about on my channel. Do you see what I'm saying? But I can't handle nothing, because everybody got, at the end of the day, everybody, if he want to do commentary about people over here, that's fine. But I got a right to do my commentary too. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, yeah. And so if that's what you call handling something, because what I'm saying ain't moving nobody one way or the other, okay? But this is me doing my commentary. So I mean, like, I don't know what you mean by handle something. If they ain't got no problem with him spouting out, beating them over the head, with the Bible about their sexuality, that's on them. But I ain't gotta like it. And he sure ain't finna beat me over the head with the Bible, telling me that my place is behind a man. Okay, you know. He could benefit from it, Levon, but you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I mean, this is his trick right here. But like I said, it's a very good discussion when it comes to the low value man. And and then let me explain what I mean by the let's talk about. We've talked about his commentary, right? But what I haven't talked about is what I mean by a low value man. Okay. Yeah, you're right about that. They are his hags. Absolutely. I agree with that. And I don't mind going back and forth with them. You know what I mean? I really don't, because it's just ignorance to me, and it ain't changing nothing. Right? And like I said, let me explain what I mean by a low value man. This is what I mean by a low value man. Let's talk about that. Hence the name of the title. Okay? That's the issue. People can't take cookie delivery. Yeah, they can't take it. Evidently, they can't take my delivery. Yeah, before we talk about the low value man, let's talk about what happened on Diamond Dory's chat last night. So, she invited some women from his camp, the guy's camp, to come over there, and she was having a discussion with him, right? And so, I hopped on to ask a question from a woman's point of view, and immediately those ladies, that cake for him and try to protect him, immediately they were defensive. Do you see what I'm saying? I did not have a tone. I was not trying to be argumentative. I wasn't over there to be messy. Now we all know how I can get when I feel like I want to argue with you, or whatever. That wasn't that. You see what I'm saying? I simply, he is a male chauvinist. He's a male chauvinist pig. I agree. I simply want to ask a question. And so, I guess the ladies were on high alert because they listen to everything that he says. So in their minds, they said that they felt like, I was, they felt some kind of way about my voice, or whatever. And I'm thinking, well, no, this ain't the case. And even Mona said, she was like, well, no, you know what I mean? She ain't talking crazy, basically. You know what I mean? A lot of people saw it, right? And so, because but I felt like they were immediately defensive, right? And they were immediately defensive, in my opinion, because they have heard him sit over there and speak derogatorily about me. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, yep, that could be the case too, Astro Kid. Now I heard Diamond Dory on Kwani's chat, and she called him on the phone. So evidently, they got each other's phone number. You know what I mean? And so, it is what it is, right? Everybody do what they want. I don't talk behind the scenes, nobody. But anyway, she had him up there. I popped up there to ask a question, and immediately they got defensive. I didn't understand why. You know what I mean? And so, a little bit after that, she clicked me off her chat, which is absolutely her right. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, it was what it was, but I found it interesting how they got defensive really for no reason, because I wasn't trying to come for nobody's throat up there. I had my even kilter tone. I don't have any animosity towards these ladies. I don't know who they are. Do you see what I'm saying? But the title said, basically, I think the ladies from ZX campus, it's not that, but the women of the ZX space over there, right? So that's why I clicked the link, right? And so, I guess she was trying to, she felt like, even though I wasn't being combative, she felt like for whatever reason, she needed to protect them, and but for what, I don't know, because like I said, I don't have a problem with those ladies, and I wasn't trying to be aggressive towards them, and I just hate that happened. But this it's her platform. I ain't mad at her. Everybody got a right to do what they want to do. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, Tracy said they allowed Mona to ask a totally off topic question to you, but your question was definitely on top. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, but why did she click you off? And she left Kwani in the back after asking her to come up. I don't know, Shay. I don't know. You're gonna have to ask her. You know what I mean? But that is what happened though. It was, concerning me, the lady knew that she was a condescending bee. Well now here's the thing about that. Because before I clicked on, uh I heard her talking about she was kind of like poverty shaming, trying. And then when you poverty shame people, that is a sign of your own insecurity, right? So I mean, if this is the type of mentality that he has going on over there from the females, I'm not surprised they got defensive. You know what I mean? Because in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Now, this is a grown woman. This is a grown black woman. As from black woman to black woman, when I'm giving you a tone or not. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, but your tone, and it could have went. I'm thinking, huh? And I was perplexed by that because you know that I'm not giving you a tone, which means that is a defense mechanism. Okay? That is a defense mechanism. You do not want me to ask you anything about your Lord and Master. Okay? That's what you don't want. And you know who I am because he's been over there speaking derogatorily about me. That's how that showed me. Do you see what I'm saying? And also that poverty shaming that they were um you know oh wow, that's very interesting, Stephanie Harder. Perhaps, you know what I mean? And also the poverty shaming, that's also some kind of insecurity. So evidently the women that do follow him, they have a lot of insecurities. Because like I said, when you go to poverty shaming your own people, that says more about you than the person that you're trying to poverty shame in the first place, right? And so in my opinion, that's my opinion. All right. Miss Queen says I saw some of the the initiation. It was cringy, right? Like I said before, it was a dang it, scroll past. Like I like I said before, it was like a pimp, right? Talking to his yes, you know what the rest. I agree, Miss Queen. That's the vibe that you get, right? That's the vibe that you get. Uh-huh. That's the vibe. She didn't want you to ask. And she also wanted to provoke. Yes, she did. Now I do agree with that, J. True. She wanted to try to provoke me because I didn't come up there with an attitude at all. A lot of people listen to respond, not to understand. I think she understands exactly what I asked her, Miss Honey, but I understand what you're saying. And I also know that she didn't feel like I came up there in an aggressive manner because I did not. I don't have no beef with that lady. I had never spoken to any of them before, and had they not been on Diamond Dory's panel, I wouldn't have known who they were. But by the title, that's how I knew who they were. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not familiar with his platform. I still, even though now, after all of this, including this weekend review, I still refuse to give him a click in the view. You know what I mean? Now it's just one click for me and one view for me, but my click and my view counts to me, and I refuse to give it to him. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not going to go over there with somebody that has clearly been verbally abusive on other people's platforms that I have been on. Right? I'm not going to do that. So it is what it is. But yeah, like I said, had it not been for the title and me listening to a little bit before I clicked on, I wouldn't know who they were. I wouldn't have known who they were at all. And so yeah, I just found it very interesting. You know, and so yeah. But anyway, that's what's happened. That's is what happened on Diamond Dory's. I'm glad you guys saw through that because we know that I can get rowdy when I want to get rowdy. Okay, and I'm glad that everybody saw that I was not being rowdy. I was not the aggressor in the situation. So that's cool. I really appreciated you guys for telling the truth about that. I really did appreciate that because that was absolutely uncalled for, you know. And so yeah, Bella said she was looking for a moment. Perhaps Bella. Mia said I personally think the B word was rolling out of his tongue too easy. Clearly, he speaks to women on a regular basis. That's right, Mia. You see what I'm saying? And I refuse to be disrespected in that manner. And I don't know if he think it make him sound cool. I don't know if he think it's scaring somebody. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with the pimp talk or whatever, the pimp hoe talk, quote unquote, if you will, but that doesn't work for everybody. Do you see what I'm saying? And so anyway, guys, let's talk about what do I want to talk about? The low value man. The low value man and the coddling that goes on. Now we have a perfect example of the low value man, okay, being coddled, not only in this sector, but in general. Do you see what I'm saying? Now we know that in the black community, for a whole lot of reasons, um, some women tend to coddle black men, right? I don't think it's a good idea to have the back of these low value men that disrespect and abuse, be it physically, mentally, verbally, financially. You know what I mean? And it is not helping anything by women supporting and trying to protect these types of very low value, dysfunctional men, that you're not helping them in any way. You're not helping them exert themselves, exude any type of masculine energy. Okay. And like I said, that guy is a perfect example of it because he only wants to go back and forth with women. Okay. And if you are not being subservient to him via whether you're a man or a woman, it ain't nothing he can do but disrespect you and call you these very remedial, high schoolish type of names. He go around saying stuff like "suck my D" and "you be" and blah 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 and blah blah blah. As if what he has to call you or his opinion of you matters to anybody but him. Now, if you have a low self-esteem issue, and we know that there are a lot of women on here that can be beat down with words, but that doesn't happen with every woman because a lot of us know who we are. Okay? But when you're exuding that type of feminine energy, which is really is actually feminine energy, and he's masking it with the illusion, should I say, the illusion of masculine energy. Okay, that's what he's doing. You know, that's all he's doing. It's very feminine energy. Okay, and he's masking it with the illusion of masculine energy. And that's what makes him a low value man. Another thing that makes him a low value man is the fact that he sits online like literally all day, getting his whole life going back and forth with certain types of women. Now, he's obsessed over a couple of them, as we can see. You know what I mean? Yeah, whole weirdo. I agree with that. I agree with that. It's really very weird. Uh huh. He's a weirdo, and the women who follow that jerk are weirdos too. I would have to agree. I sure would. I would have to agree. I just can't get over the fact that, and he's not only the type of low value man, he's not the only one that they get behind. Take a Tommy Sotomayor. You got a lot of black females over there. No, he hate black women to the point where he literally hates his mom. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, if you hate your mom, every other black woman, you're gonna hate them too, right? We have several men online, that have built entire platforms, profitable platforms, some of them speaking very derogatorily about women, and you always have the some black women with some self-esteem issues, or they think it's cute, or whatever it is they thinking, go over there and sidle up to these type of fools for whatever reason. But guess what? That's if you're an adult, that's absolutely your choice. And like I said, just like it's my choice to speak out on it, just like you might not agree with me, speaking out against him or them. That's the same way I feel about y'all. You see what I'm saying? And so, absolutely, Kevin Samuels. Absolutely, the thing he got popular. Kevin Samuels got popular speaking manosphere rhetoric. You know, that's all that is. And so, yeah, they're coddling him, the one that cape for him or cap for him. They're just coddling him. They see him as a victim or either they're afraid of him, and this is the internet, and I don't understand why, but it is what it is. Okay, like you said before, they don't. He's talking about them. Yeah, they don't think he's talking about them, but he is. But he is, But he is. He's talking about you too. Now, please hit the like button if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. A lot of us never supported that fool, but you need to look at Cookie and Jazzy's side sideways, because at one point they both supported him. All he has to do is open his mouth, and you can tell he's not right. I don't think that he's right. I think that, I don't know. The internet affects people. It messes with your mentals. If you don't have your guard up, you know what I mean? And well, of course, says black women guard your hearts, minds, and purses. Right, your hearts, minds, and purses and souls. You're right about that, wild card. Because at the end of the day, it's all like a. And then he loves to pit women against each other. Do you see what I'm saying? And we got that going over here too. Sometimes, if you allowed yourself to be pit against another woman, men are good at that, online and offline. And so when you see those women like was on the panel last night, they've been pit against me, even though I don't know nothing about them. Even if they might not realize it, you've been pit against me. Now it was up to me whether to fight or not, and I chose not to fight. I'm not going to let you dictate who I go back and forth with. But they are different, and so that's what they choose to do. And guess what? Including Diamond Dory, and guess what? That's fine. I respect that, but I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to allow myself to be pit against some women that I absolutely know nothing about. But just because this man feels that that is what he needs to do, it's unfortunate. That's all I can say. He knows to never come to Babe Nation again, because we won't have time for dudes like ZS. Well, I never thought in my wildest dreams that it never. I know for a fact. Just let me say that Babe Nation and Fire Babe ain't going for the crowd. Now it's up to her. I mean, she engaged when she want to engage, like I engage when I want to engage. But ain't nobody worried about him. Okay, and I know I don't. I'm not. Hey, y'all know what the deal is between me and old girl and Babe Nation, but she ain't going for that. I do know. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I know she ain't going for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And then plus, good and well, the only reason why he coming for her, he don't have first he was over there twerking around in her chat, super chatting and all this, trying to ingratiate himself. You know what I mean? And now that the tides turned, oh, she's the worst person in the world. Okay, now we know it's about the numbers. We know what she wants some of her subscribers. We know you want some clicks and views. That's why you keep talking about her. Ain't nobody impressed by all this feminine energy. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, yes, honey, nope, nope. It don't make no sense. Once his mask came off, most of the sector moved away from him. He is super psychotic. Yeah, I agree with that, the Joy Queen. If you paying attention to him, there's that when you paying attention to this type of low value man in particular, like you said, he took his mask off. I mean, like he clearly has some type of issue. You see what I'm saying? And you know what his main issue? You are very respect. Thank you on that panel last night. Thank you, Vashti. Thank you. You know what I noticed though? When you take a man like that is of that age, and clearly, he's middle aged. He ain't one of these 20 or 30 year old, look, young fellas running around here. You see what I'm saying? That's another reason why I hit different. He's up in age. He's in his 50s. I'm in my 50s. Do you see what I'm saying? And so for you to be that old and to have to resort to this type of thing, and you can tell that he's not only I see, yeah, absolutely, to me, just absolutely. For him to be that old and still feel like he's got to present himself in such a way. That really says a lot to me. Do you see what I'm saying? That really says a lot to me. It says a lot about how he's moved in this world throughout his life. Do you see what I'm saying? He seems like, he's a real, just angry, land of broken dreams type person. You know, and he probably over there, alone, because he hates black women to the point to where he's probably done ran off every black woman that's ever cared anything about him. So he's bitter. They in the black sector they talk about bitter old, bitter birds, and they talking about black women. Some of them call us bitter old birds, right? He's a bitter old bird, and he's an old man. So and he really is probably very lonely. He is very miserable. Okay, even though, hey Castro, how you doing? Even though he sits over and in his mind, he's making people think that everybody wants him. Because we've heard him say this person want me or that person want me, and they mad because I don't want them. Don't nobody want him like that. Nobody but somebody that clearly has low self-esteem issues, or a woman that wants to get the hell beat out of her, or a woman that finds the raggedy stuff that comes out of his mouth as attractive. That's the only type of woman that would want him, like, honestly, in my opinion. you know but anytime, that's a sign of insecurity too, when you have to make it seem like, everybody wants me. I'm thinking, why? Really? Everybody wants a low value man. Okay. All right. You know. But yeah, it don't make no sense to me. I find it very interesting. But anyway, but yeah, like I said, that type of low value man is very problematic. I feel that he's problematic. You know what I mean? And don't nobody care. He needs a new delivery. Okay. Tracy 3 says, let me read this. Those women said that they couldn't answer your question. Then they said it was probably because Olivia had a panel attacking him and he wasn't able to defend himself. They don't know. They don't know why I started a room. They don't know why I started a room. Yes, yeah, I heard. Yeah, they said he probably spoke to me that way, or because I came up on Jay Wilson's panel trying to get something started, right? But what I was trying to tell them was, the reason why I jumped on Jay Wilson's panel that day, the first day in particular that I saw him, is that he had already made. My people had told me that he had already made 2 videos about me. That's why I jumped up on there. Now I don't know if they knew that or not, but Dory was over talking and they got really loud, and then she clicked me off before I could clearly state that he had already made 2 videos. He was angry with me because I wouldn't allow him on my panel. He had already done 2 videos about me. By the time he clicked, I saw him on Jay Wilson's panel. By the time he had clicked Jay Wilson's link. Now like I said, I don't know if they knew that or not. You know, so yeah, yeah. But anyway, so the guy, I'm glad you said that, View. View said, I would rather have one that works a real job and not on YouTube. You're absolutely right. He spent all day, I think that the only thing that he probably has, you got a lot of people in this world that never feel like they are heard or appreciated, right? And then they find YouTube and they feel like they finally have a chance after all these years to be heard or worshiped and appreciated. You know what I mean? And so that is the vibe that he's giving me. He's giving me, ain't nobody never paid attention to me before offline. So let me get on here and show my complete behind. Okay? Let me try to usurp all these people's channels because I want all the clicks. I want all the views. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I really don't have, because in reality, I'm nobody. So let me get on here and act like I'm JJ Badass or something. I don't, a pimp. or pimp king or god or something. I don't I don't know, but yeah, I get that kind of vibe off of him too, you know. And so, yeah, I don't know. Terry E said it seemed like Dory was cutting your mic down, because when you went to Tracy, your mic was clear as hell. I don't know. He spoke on you many times. Yes, before you knew who he was. Didn't even know who he was at first. He praised you, but once he saw you talking to Cookie, then he started going in on you. Wow, because like I said, those beefs over there, are long going, and just because I'm speaking to somebody that you might be into it with, don't mean I'm into it with you as well. See, that's a high school type of mentality. And so yeah, it's unfortunate. you know, it's really unfortunate in my opinion. I still want to know if he's the content creator that beat his daughter. Really? I really don't know. Wow. 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 Hey Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q said, yeah, I left when she clicked Olivia off. I'm thinking, child, child. And my thing is too, I would give her a piece of advice if I could. If you're trying to build your channel and build your numbers up, when people come into your channel that other people want to hear for whatever reason, you might not want to click them off. You might not want to click them off. All right. Oh my God. Child. Somebody asked me, was I upset on Tracy's channel last night? I was like, oh, I'm trying to contain myself, child. You know how that go. Oh my goodness. That was crazy. But anyway, yeah, but really, we just really have to watch out. But somebody said earlier that we get a lot of new trinkets coming through these B sector streets. We've seen them before. I'm sure we'll see them again, and eventually this one will fade away. But you have to be careful with this one right here. Um, uh, because we need to put a reference, not just one side. Let it rock. His friend for 8 years told Uncle Suge that he be. Oh really? Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. So anyway, I was trying to read this chat, y'all. Sorry about that. He's the type to go to your church, listen to the pastor, then talk about the pastor's sermon right right in front of everyone during the dinner time. Thinking it's okay to say, yeah, absolutely. And maybe they told him that, hey, you might need to chill. What I mean? If you're trying to, and then uh, coming into this sector, because like I said on Tracy's panel, um, he's like a vortex or a wormhole. Do you see what I'm saying? He evidently, because like I said, they pretty much decimated the Nature Boy sector. That's where my sister, saw him from. She's very familiar with him and that sector over there. They pretty much decimated their sector because they went after one another when they could no longer go after Nature Boy, or it slowed down going after Nature Boy, or whatever happened, right? So they turned on one another, and excuse me, they were like piranhas, honey. They ate that sector alive. So they have been, but so now it's to the point to where they're flailing in the wind, trying to find a home, you know. But you got to be careful of who you let in your house. Do you see what I'm saying? Now this is YouTube, and you can't tell this cat not to come in your house. But if he gets so bad to where he got to speak derogatory about everybody and try to bully you, into submitting to him, you really need to think about that, And then by the people that are already supporting him, you're just pretty much breathing life into that monster. Even this video is breathing life into that monster. But I had to come and say something, because I've seen these type of low value men before. I wasn't impressed then. I'm not impressed now. You know, if you said that Nature Boy sector was really a nugget, absolutely. I mean, I seen somebody find out Nature Boy's location over there. I was looking at the video, and this was a while ago, right? Um, they found out where Nature Boy was by a tree. I guess they Googled the type of tree that they saw in the video, however that works. But that's how they found out what he was. I was like, well, dang, that's called dedication right there. Child, who'd have thunk it? They doxed him by a tree. I was like, oh my. I was like, what? So, child, they start turning on each other, destroy their own stuff, And so, yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Lady Rock says Z has tried to lure Indy by telling him he had 50K. Uh he had 50K for him. Let me go back over y'all. He had 50K for him, and ZX built a built a channel behind having money he doesn't have. Wow. Uh but anyway, y'all hit that like button. So this one I'm gonna do. Um I will drop the link before I go because this is Sunday in case anybody has something that they want to say. And we can do that for a minute. If you guys want to, or either I can just close. Y'all hit the link if you want me to. I mean, hit the link. Hit the one if you want me to drop the link, or do we just want to close it out? Either way is fine with me. Uh-huh. hmm So yeah, that's what we'll do, especially Jazzy. She didn't try to get that man's child taken. She lost all four of hers. Child. My boss, aka Queen Pandora. Ooh, child. Y'all better let me know if y'all want me to drop this link. Now, Heaven Sent want me to drop the link. That's one person. Mm-mm. He's definitely the guy at the party who was either screaming over the conversation, okay, screaming over the conversation to be heard, or standing up in the corner pissed off that no one's been. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Uh-huh. Hold on a minute, y'all. Let me try to get it here. Um mm, let's see here. Hold on. Let me try to copy it. Um uh-oh. Okay, got the copy on here. Let me try to paste it. But yeah, those are just some of the things that was the most impressive that was the most pressing thing on my radar, and the guys over here, and I'm sure he's gonna be fine over here. People love a protagonist, people love somebody that's gonna go back and forth. But I mean, it seemed to me like he just riding roughshod right now, and there's not very many people going back and forth with him at all. And I find that interesting too. You know, and for whatever reason, I guess maybe people feel intimidated by him. I don't. But I heard a couple of content creators say that they're not going to engage. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, I hate to you know, give give any type of shine to anybody like that. I put the link in the comment section, y'all. Yeah. But like I said, I hate to breathe life into anything, like of that nature, but uh yeah, that's too much. Mm, 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 mm. Don't make no sense. But anyway, if nobody's gonna hit the link, I'm gonna get off here, y'all. And let y'all enjoy the cows coming home to roost. It's supposed to be chickens, but that was hilarious. Oh wow, is that right, Ronnie? Oh wow. Uh-uh. But anyway, that's pretty much I guess all I had. And like I said, after that debacle on Dory's panel last night, I jumped on Tracy, excuse me. Ooh, sorry about that, y'all. Tracy did an open panel, and it was real good. We discussed the situation, but I really just want to come over here and have the discussion myself on my own channel so that I wouldn't be interrupted. You know, when it comes to things like this and that type of dysfunction that he's displaying, there's always a lesson in that for me, you know. And so I wanted to share what I felt about the lesson with you guys, okay? And so you going live with my name? For what? I didn't do nothing to him. But anyway, this maybe he felt away because I said none of them were speaking out. And let me just say this: they don't have. I'm not. That's just my opinion. If that's what he's upset about, you know what I mean. That is just my opinion. Because he was trying to beat the what was his name? He's trying to speed Thank you, Clorio. He was trying to beat that Bible thing over the head with beat Jay Wilson over the head with that Bible thing. Yeah, I figured that, Sky Blue. And ain't nobody trying to get him into nothing. And he make himself sound sissified if he got upset about that. Do you see what I'm saying? That was my example. If you feel like um if I mean and you know, it just is what it is, you know. So yeah, that message somebody just went live with her name in the title. Yeah, they told me. They told me. I guess he feel away, you know, about me saying that none of them is speaking up about the ZX guy. But my thing is, don't try to you know, make it seem like I'm the bad guy. He the one calling y'all saying y'all gonna go to hell, gonna burn in hell and shit. Okay, you know, but they'll turn around and call me homophobic, right? But they're not gonna say that to him, right? So that's why I brought it up. But now he want to deflect on me. And I bet you 9 times out of 10, that's all that's going on. You know, I'm not impressed. Hey, Miss Carruthers, is that you?
Yes,
Hello?
dear, it's me. Good morning. Hello.
Good. How you doing?
Oh, just wonderful. I had to come up and compliment you on another great show.
Thank you, sir.
People that I listen to when they have something positive to say, I like to
Hmm.
come up and congratulate them. And I
Oh,
congratulate you on your show today.
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Well, you're welcome, dear. We might be on a delay. I'm out visiting some friends, and I was listening, and I ran outside to so I could talk to you, and all that indoor noise wouldn't be on you. But
Thank you so much. I
once,
appreciate it.
yeah, and like you said, it's hard for me to even listen to that man. You know, I a lot of people know I went up on Tracy's platform to get into it with him, but then I got ostracized for even coming up being on an all woman panel. And to me, that
Mm,
was crazy because I came up there because I discussed it with a so called man
mm,
that talks about and talk to women any kind of way he feels like it. And that's not
mm,
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and as far as the community goes, you know, I know what sector I'm in. I'm in the beef sector. I started
Mm,
out in the beef sector. So
mm,
I try to stay within my realm of the beef sectors with people that bring me positive things. A lot of
absolutely.
stuff, a lot of stuff this past week has been so negative
Yeah.
until yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
Miss Olivia, I got to congratulate you. Like I said, I go on everybody's panels once in a while and tell them, hey, I love your show. I love your content. You know, we don't have to agree to disagree, or we don't have to agree about everything. But today was one of those days that I loved you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It means so much to me. Thank you, sir. I really
All right,
appreciate
dear.
it.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna get off of here.
Okay, you
God
have a
bless.
wonderful God bless
You
you too.
too.
Have a wonderful rest of your day, okay?
You too, dear. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye. I sure do appreciate Mr. Carruthers for saying that. That means a lot. You know, and then as far as hold on y'all. Let me put this banner up. As far as Sean Bradley goes, trying to, you know, somebody said he was trying to, you know, speak out against me to keep that guy off of him. That's cool. That don't have nothing to do with me, but I was using it as an example because they can go after a woman. He can call me homophobic, but you can't call this guy homophobic. Okay? Hey, Hilberstein, how you doing?
I'm Olivia. I
And you don't
I
have to say
agree with
nothing at all. I'm sorry. Go ahead, baby.
I agree with where you're coming from. There's a
Uh
lot of
huh.
people up here is hating on don't like people on YouTube because you're in the beach sector. If you're not in the beach sector, they got something to say about you. If you are in the beach sector, they don't got something to say bad about you. Like, what's going on with people? Like, they need to get their act together up here.
I agree.
They need to get their act together. Like, come on, like one person gonna like me. I don't care. I don't get the F nobody like me. I don't care. I don't care who it is. They won't stop me from getting off YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'll be up here all the time. I be in your page all the time. I see you go live. I see everybody go live. I be in the chat. I'm friends with everybody. Like couple people I'm friends with, couple people I'm not friends with.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I understand
I get
that.
along with couple people up here. Some people I don't get along.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just like everybody, you know. Uh huh.
Right.
Yeah. But thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. I really
You
do.
welcome.
I really do appreciate it. Uh huh.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
You welcome.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
And so yeah, hey Tracy, how you doing? Who was that speaking? Heaven sent. I forgot to take the. Hold on, y'all. Let me take this. Ooh, child. I got sidetracked by that whole SB going live conversation. And somebody said, Ronnie Q said when ZX sees SB in that romper, it will be over for SB. I don't know, you know what I mean? But just trying to get involved. He wanted his name to ring bells by but a child. I you know like I said, they can call me homophobic, you know, about me going at him. He called me homophobic for going back and forth with him, right? He's just trying to insert himself in the conversation some type of way. SB, no one talks about him. And yeah, you know what I mean. And try, I guess, I'm trying to insert himself, but like I said, he was the one beating them over the head with the Bible. He wasn't beating me over the head with the Bible about being gay, being a gay man, and he called him, you know, the S words and all of this and all that. He wasn't talking to me. He was talking to y'all. Okay, he coming into this sector banging on y'all. All right. And if you feel like you don't want to say nothing, that's on you. But I'm not trying to, you know, how you doing, Miss Honey? Put you in
Hi,
nothing. But it's just a fact. How you doing, love? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm well. How are you today?
Oh, just fine, thank you.
Good. I love it when you come on. I'm able to cook and clean and listen. I really like it. I love that, you have very kind people in your chat, very, critical thinkers. I love it. And I've
Mhm.
been, on before. I'm not sure if you remember me or not. I've talked about how diverse your content is, and I like that.
Thank you. Thank
Um, I think you've done an excellent job navigating, through different sectors and coming back with, gems and jewels for everyone. I love how you talk about politics and all of that, just how diverse you are, right?
thank you.
Um, I am a silent watcher, and if the content doesn't have value, I don't stick around very long. I don't participate in the chat. I have my own channel here on YouTube, and it's TV reviews and motivational, that type of thing. But like you, I'm very diverse in the things that I like to watch, especially if it has value.
Yeah.
I remember when you came on and you were doing the Thunderdome. It was beautifully done. Beautifully
Mhm.
done. I mean, you walked between the raindrops, really. It's
Yeah, it was
beautifully
so
done.
beautiful. Yeah.
Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't do that, right? Everybody can't, kind of referee over that type of thing without seeming biased. So I just want you to recognize that I recognize that skill in you.
Thank you.
All
Hey, but
right.
I'm sorry
And
to bother
then you started seeing jumping off these types of Thunderdome things, but they were not well executed.
you.
Okay. Also, you have to remember too that your perspective is always one of a deep thinker. Now you can go off. You can definitely go off, and you're razor sharp in the turns.
Miss
I
Honey,
love that. You
Miss
know,
Honey,
you're
excuse me for a minute, Miss Honey. As on site, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry about that, Miss Honey. I just want to make sure that was April. I
no,
could
it's
take
okay. It's
it.
okay.
There you go.
Um,
Go ahead.
hello on site. So
Hey, how you doing, boo?
I'm well, thank you. I hope you are too. So yeah, and you did a great job having informative platforms. You were doing that in between the Thunderdomes, and then that kind of took off. You left that Thunderdome alone because I mean, let's be honest, it's exhausting.
Yes.
But uh and you started doing the panels and these great discussions about gay people saying there's this gay agenda. You had Conscious TV on. That was a really good panel.
Oh, thank you.
And it started out as something else, but it was an excellent panel. Then you start seeing other people try to have these deep informative panels, but because they don't have the seasoning, the experience, the depth of knowledge, it comes across, less than authentic. What I want to encourage you to do is really look at all the points that I've made, and then you'll see why you feel frustrated in some areas, because it's like dragging a dead body up a hill.
Yes, ma'am.
You know,
Yes, ma'am.
people. It's funny what people choose to speak out on. It's funny what seems outrageous to people, and I'm seeing a lot of times that's driven by the coin.
Yes, ma'am.
And every time you go against that coin, Miss Olivia, you're gonna be busting your head up against a brick wall. People. That's one of the problems with our people as a whole, Black people,
Yes,
is
ma'am.
that anybody can come in with a shekel, a coin, a little bauble, and we give our people up. We give
Yes,
up
ma'am.
the fight.
Yeah.
So that I want to just point that frustration out that you're having.
It's
You
me.
have done some innovative things, and I'm going to tell you what, people are trying to repeat you, but they are failing miserably.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't
Thank
let
you.
anyone get you stuck here. You
Thank
are
you.
doing good work here.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Yes, ma'am.
Miss Honey, you can stay up. I really don't have nothing to say. I really don't know nothing about the black sector, I guess they call it. But just from the little tidbits I've been seeing or whatever, dude, mom must have really been hard on him. And what I
Yeah.
mean by hard, she must have been really dominating, like
Mm,
belittling him as a
mm,
man, you
mm-hmm.
know, because
I
we have
agree.
some of these mothers that they have babies from the husbands or baby daddies or whatever, and they really, the baby daddy hurt them or the husband hurt them or whatever, and they take it out on the child, especially if the child is a spitting image of that person.
Absolutely.
And it's just crazy to me. You had this topic, and like I said, I don't know nothing about these people. I know a few that I was watching and content with, but it's just crazy to me the vitriol he got for black women,
Yes, ma'am.
because I seen him with I seen him before with Mediva,
Mm-hmm.
and he was big up in the white chick that was going after Mediva. And I
Oh, wow.
mean really big up in, which I figured that was a money haul anyway, because
Mm,
they say she was a paymaster. But it's
mm,
just the way he big up to her and the way he, you know, talked about her to compare to the way he talked about Mediva. Now I don't know what their problem is. Like I said, I ain't been over here. I don't know them people, but clearly you can look and tell when a nigga got mommy issues. And
mm.
I just feel like the mommy just, she belittled her. Don't I got 8 boys, and I was, besides the one that passed away, I was hard on my boys, but not hateful on my boys.
Right.
I was strict on my boys to
Can you
where
explain? I'm glad you said that, as April. On site, Lord Jesus. On site.
I'm,
Can you explain the difference between being hard on your boys as opposed to being hateful? because you have raised boys, like you said. Can you tell the people the difference? Because there is a difference. I'm glad you
I
said
was
that.
just I was just going to tell you I was strict on my boys, but my boys didn't fear me.
Right.
They respected me. I didn't want my sons to fear their mama because I'm
Yes.
a woman
Yes.
and I don't mind being submissive to my husband. I
Right.
understand my place as a woman. I'm not a doormat,
Right.
but I may not, I'm not going to stand behind you. I'm going to be on the side of it. I'm not going to get in front of you
Absolutely.
unless it needs for me to get in front of you because there are situations where a woman has to take the lead. And
Absolutely.
that's okay
And that's
until
all.
her king revitalizes himself or invents himself. That's all right. And
Mm.
there's a difference between taking care of a nigga and supporting a nigga.
Yes. Yes.
But me raising, like I said, when you get a chance, go on my community wall, because I think the YouTube moderator was deleting my comment. When
Me
you
too.
go and you look on my community wall, you'll see what I was saying. What I said over there was it take a real, woman to raise sons into men, but it
Yes.
take it take a real mother to make them a
Mm.
success.
Mm.
And
Yep.
when you go on
Lord, it's true.
on my community wall, you're gonna see what I mean.
That's the
And I
truth.
mean, it wasn't easy. It wasn't nowhere near easy because my family background, a bunch of dope dealers, murderers, and robbers and killers.
Mm.
And of
Mm.
course, I didn't want my boys to follow that. You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
engaged in it. I wanted them to be better than me. And the
Mm.
reason why I'm
Mm.
praising what's on my community wall now is because I achieved that. I
Wow.
achieved that with love, and I was strict on them niggas.
Yeah.
See, it was funny to me that you called your little show the Thunderdome, because that's what they used to call my house, but they called it the Terror Dome.
I heard that.
And I mean, I had a sign on the door, enter at your own risk.
Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh.
Because it's a good thing that mommy or Auntie April, as they call me, love you. And it's a bad thing that mommy or Auntie April love you. Because me loving you, I love you.
Yes.
But me loving you, I love you. That mean ain't no half stepping, ain't no feeling sorry for yourself. I don't
Yes.
wallow in self pity. Get the fuck on.
Yes.
I'm
Amen.
going to push you. When you are good, I'm going to push you to be great. When you are
Mm.
great, I'm going to push you to be excellent. When you are excellent, I'm going to push you to be extraordinary, and so on and so on and so on. I
Amen.
never had my boys locked in this box that the only way that you can make it out the hood or be something of yourself is to be a basketball player or
Right.
a football player.
Yes.
I
Yes.
supported my boys in everything they did. I got a chef. I had one that wanted to be the little cheerleader boy up under the girls, and it didn't dawn on me until I realized why the hell he wanted to throw them girls up in the air and catch them. But anyway, I had one that wanted to be into acting. I've sold all kind of damn costumes and bake sales, and I've hopped up and down the damn football field for 8 years. Pot Warner, I hopped up and down the goddamn gym for the basketball. You understand me? I was
Yep.
sitting in the
Yep.
sun for lacrosse while a motherfucker rode a horse with a stick, whatever that means. But anyway, it is a difference.
Yes.
It is a difference in being hard on your sons
Amen.
and hating your sons.
Yes.
Whatever you
Absolutely.
go through as a woman, I never took that out on my boys. I
Right.
wanted them to have better relationships that I had.
Mm.
If I chose a man, I chose a man. If he was the wrong nigga, he was the wrong nigga. It is what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
But I didn't
Absolutely.
want you to do that.
Yes.
They say boys have a tendency to find women like their mom. Okay, no
Mm.
problem. And I understand that. But I want you to be better. I
Yes.
want you to have better.
Yes. Absolutely.
And like I said, when you do go to my community wall, you will see I achieved that. Like I
Yeah.
said, one of my sons passed away, you
Mm.
know, and all of my boys graduated. The seven that were left, one of them is in prison. That's the oldest one. He chose to follow the family critique, but that was on him. But he still got a release date, and he's very smart and very intelligent. And he
Yeah.
also has a talent that he can draw off of if he chooses to. But he's
Mm.
grown,
Yeah.
and my other six boys are all in college, living on their own and making things happen in their life that they want to happen.
Right.
We as women, I felt like I had to be hard on them boys because I never wanted them to ever think that they could disrespect me, bow up at
Mhm.
me, take too much
Mhm.
chair, air in their motherfucking chest. Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me. You
Yeah.
know, and I wanted them to be men though. I didn't want them to feel like they are um, under a woman. Hell no. Hell no.
Right.
But get you a strong one. Don't
Absolutely.
get you a weak one.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
let it be that if you fall short, she can keep the family going. She
Right.
can pull the weight
Right.
until you get where her king needs to be back on his throne.
Right. That's
But
right.
that dude you talking about, I've seen it many times to
Mhm.
where a mother replaces her husband or her boyfriend with her son.
Yes. Yep.
And
Yep.
that becomes her man, her friend, her confidant. And because of the person she did love hurting her or leaving her or whatever, she feels that she can get back. And it's sick. It's a sickening way to think, but I know you know this, Miss
Yeah.
O. She
Yeah.
feels that she can take it back on that child,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
anything that he does in similarities of the father or that
Mhm.
person. Oh, you ain't this and you ain't gonna never be that, and
Mhm.
instead of talking to him, talking at him.
Yes.
I didn't raise my boys like that. My boys are completely open with their mama.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they too open. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Well, you said we could tell you anything. Yeah, well, I take it back. Fuck it. No, no, no. I don't want to hear that.
Right.
You know, but and then you go through it to where they smelling they musk and what I'm saying, they little Peter Weeders done stop shooting water and then shooting sperm. Now they think they got big balls or whatever. But like I tell these chicks, I used to change their diaper. I didn't see no diamonds and rubies down there. And for you to be letting my son act like this, you need to check yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of mothers like the mothers on this YouTube, honey, that are
Yes.
not paying attention to their daughters or their sons.
Yes. Yes.
So they're practically
Yes.
raising themselves. And not only they're raising themselves, but YouTube, the internet, and the
Mm.
TV and the
Mm.
games are raising them.
Yes. Absolutely.
And when that happens, you end up with a nigga like oh boy.
Yeah.
Because it really got me to where you didn't talk like this to that chick, that white chick, when you was going at it with
Mm.
Medieval. You didn't disgrace that white chick or nothing, dog. And you could clearly see she was poor white trash. I don't give a damn who don't like it. You could clearly see
Mm.
what her agenda was.
Mm.
And I just don't know when y'all got to let me know when did the times change to where anything white could talk about something black and something black could join in with it. I just really don't know when that happened.
Girl, you better speak on it.
I just don't know when that happened. You understand me? We could say what the f we want to say about each other, but you can't say
Mm.
it. We
Girl.
can do what we want to do to each other, but you can't
Mm.
do it.
Mm.
But I've seen in this, I don't know, sector, whatever y'all want to call this crap, man, this YouTube mess. I
Yep.
just ain't never seen nothing like it in my life.
Me either, April. Me either. I'm not
I
gonna
just
lie.
ain't never seen nothing like it
Nope.
in my life. What the fuck? Excuse me,
Me
Miss.
either.
Oh,
Me
what
either.
happened to black is beautiful? What
Exactly.
happened to that?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
understand me? So
Exactly.
clearly you can see he got mommy issues. You feel me?
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
daddy wasn't there. You understand me? And when I
Yeah.
seen that little scene, they sent me, with Cookie and him on the porch. That looked like two women arguing to me. I'm sorry. That's just what I saw.
Yep.
I didn't see a man and a woman. I saw two chicks out there on the porch arguing with each other, and one of them had a little pea shooter. You feel me? You know.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely. I agree.
that's all I wanted to say. I understood what you were saying. I didn't. I'm glad you explained to me the low self man. How you say
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. The low value man.
The low value man.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? I wish the hell I'd have talked to you about 20 years ago, because shit, I done ran across a couple of low value men and put them in my life. I knew the nigga was low value hell. But I ain't had nobody like you to tell me that.
You're a mess. But
It
April,
is
can I
what it
just say,
is.
it is what it is. We live and we learn and we grow. But I just want to say thank you for the best comment of the day when you said there's a difference between being hard on your boys okay, and hating your boys. How did you put it?
You being hard on your boys and hating your boys.
And
You
hating
be
your boys.
strict
It's
on them
different.
to make them
To
respect
make
you,
them
not be
better.
in fear
Right.
of you.
Right. Absolutely. 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 And that is the
Because
best.
you are raising kings, you
Yes.
know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with that statement 100% because I have a lot of black men in my family, princes that are going to become kings, and you got to be careful with a man. Okay, you got to be hard on him. You know what I mean? But you can't lord over him and make him hate you because, like you said, when you do that, when you lord over him and you make him hate you, he go on and become a man one day, and then he hating other women. You know,
Right.
and so
And
you are
it's
absolutely right about
and they
that.
become they don't want to listen and they don't want to understand something that a woman needs. They don't want to communicate because they didn't have communication. They were
Right,
told what to do, what it is, where to go, how to do it, and it is
right,
what it is. Like I
right.
said, there's
Absolutely.
nothing wrong because baby, I'm a strong alpha female. Ain't
Right.
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
And
Nothing.
then there's nothing wrong with being submissive to your husband if you have
Absolutely.
one or the man of your life. You understand me? And it's also a difference in taking care of a nigga and supporting
Mm.
a nigga.
Mm. That's right.
You know.
That's right.
And like I
That's right.
said, I've been busy. I had to let this go because man, it just got man. I was like, what the hell going on here? You know, that's why y'all haven't seen me. Then I was going through my own issues. You feel me? And I had
Yeah.
to straighten out my own shit. You feel me? And being on here wasn't gonna get it straight. You understand me? But I'm back where I needed to be. I'm doing what
Good.
I need to do, and I still choose not to come on here except when I feel like coming on here. You know.
Right.
But today, I'm glad I caught this conversation because clearly you can see that his mother wasn't just hard on him; she acted like she hated him, which in
Yeah.
turn caused him to hate black women and to
Yeah.
hate not only black women but a strong when he sees strength in a black woman he
Yeah.
cowers.
Yes. Yes.
He cowers
Absolutely. And he tried,
and he
and he
shrinks
goes.
back to that little boy.
Yes.
something
Hmm.
like something like the Bates Motel. You know
Yes.
how Norman Mammy did him,
Yep. Yep.
had him
Yep.
peeing on itself and all that there, you feel me? That's what
Right.
I get off him.
I.
And I
Me
don't
too.
even know the nigga. I don't want to know the nigga. I just know
Right.
what I've seen, and it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, I didn't know he had that thing went over there with him and Madiva. All of that. You're telling me something else that I didn't know anything
That's
about.
when I first seen him. I didn't know who he
Yeah.
was. Still didn't know who he was. But I thought he was gay for off the rip. Hell, I thought he was
Yeah.
part of the L through the Z community off the rip.
Mm,
When I seen him and heard him,
mm.
I you know,
Lord have
it is
mercy.
what it is.
Yeah, well, I heard him saying over there on Cookie Monster's channel that he's got he's having issues with his sexuality. I did hear that.
You can
Well, I
clearly
believe
see that. You can
yeah, I
clearly
believe
see that he's bi-curious or he's closeted, and he's fighting these urges. Go ahead and
mm,
be free and let you know what I'm
mm,
saying. You know, love what you really want to love, cause your
mm,
mom beat the man up out of you,
mm.
and you really want to be somebody bottom. Go ahead on, homeboy. This is I know you in the sector where you know you can be free and be who you want
Right,
to be. If you're a bottom nigga, be a bottom nigga.
right, 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 right. Just going to be free, hey. I mean, I
I'm
agree with
trying
you,
to
but
tell you.
don't try to beat up on somebody else just because you having issues. It ain't our
And
fault because you don't want to free your mind.
exactly. And another comment I said, and I think you didn't see was how many times have we told people about snakes? And they go
Mm,
right there and pick that snake up and take it home and nurse it. Then when the snake bite them, why did you do that to me? Motherfucker, you knew I was a snake when you picked me up. Oh, excuse me, Miss, you feel me?
exactly.
But you feel what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
I feel
We've
exactly
told
what you're
them.
saying.
We've told them, look out, watch out. That ain't
Yeah.
what look, it this, it and just because they're going against a fellow enemy.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, bump that. Oh, they just jealous. I'm a go on over there and support the snake, and then when the snake bite them, they wonder, ask the snake why you did it.
Right.
And
Right.
the snake
Right.
fell out,
You
kill him.
absolutely
You knew I was a snake when you picked me up.
exactly. It's just that I was biting somebody that you don't like, and it was cool, like you said, until you turn around and bit me. But a snake is a snake.
let me tell you something. My daddy, and that's where I get that from. My daddy used to always tell the story that a little girl was skipping down the railroad track and she saw a snake. The train had ran across and cut his tail off. She knew it was a snake, but she felt sorry for it. So she picked the snake up, took him home, nursed him back. His tail grew back. When his tail grew back, the snake bit her. She said, "Why did you bite me?" And like I said, the snake told her, "You knew I was a snake when you picked me up."
Mm, you're right about that. You're right about
But you
that.
know, you could preach until you blue in the face, and you can tell a person about a person. They telling people about the wrong people, but they can they want the snakes. They don't want to say nothing about. But clearly, that man got mommy issues.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what his old girl did to him, but you can
Yeah.
clearly see it's coming through him
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
all these black men that hate their moms. That's another thing I ain't never seen, man. Where I come from, in the generation I'm in, you say, a black man say something about his mama, and you liable to get beat down by strangers.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I don't
They ain't
understand that
even
either.
got to know you.
Well,
Or
yeah,
if you talking about your mom around real men, oh, you got to get from around me.
yeah. I agree.
You bad luck.
I agree. I
And
agree.
to
I
have these
agree.
women that support them,
Yes.
but then if they don't respect they mammy,
Yep.
how you
Yep.
think they're gonna respect you?
Now you think they're gonna respect you? You are
Cause you
absolutely
shooting
right.
some cash apps and some super chats. Let me tell you something. I ain't never been pimp, and I don't pay for dick. Sorry.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh well, let
Exactly.
me correct that. Let me correct that. Unless I want to, cause I did pay for some dick a long time ago. But we ain't talking about that. But okay, you know, I'm just saying in general.
Oh,
But
child.
I just want to thank you, Miss O, and I'm glad I could help you out. You know what I'm saying? Because man, raising boys and men is not easy for a mom. And
Absolutely.
sometimes, even when the father's there, you still raising them by yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I had to
You
learn the
can be
hard way.
emotionally unavailable. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
had to learn the hard way that no, I wasn't the mama and the daddy.
Yeah.
I was taught that and told that, and it irked my nerves when I found out, but it was the truth, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Chick, you ain't no dude. Why
Right.
you always run around here talking about you they mama and they daddy? How the hell you gonna be that? Why? Because you by yourself. But they still needed a father. And no matter what I did, them boys wanted to see their daddy. No matter
Yeah.
what I did, how good I did it, they daddy, until they
Mm.
got to see
Yeah.
for themselves.
Yeah. Yes. I understand exactly what you're saying. And you're absolutely right about
And
that.
that was a hard lesson for me to learn.
Yeah, yeah. Some boys, I guess, and girls too, will blame the parent that's there for them for the other
Exactly.
parent not being there for them until they see for themselves that hey, my mama
Exactly.
wasn't keeping me away from my daddy. My daddy just didn't want to fool with me.
Exactly.
So yeah,
And
they have to learn for
I learned
themselves.
that it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I had to learn how to shut up and don't call him a F nigga around him and don't drag him and all that there. But I did,
Yeah,
and you learn something new every day, you know.
yeah,
And I'm
absolutely.
glad I did because, like I said, Miss O, my community wall is my testimony, baby. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
I can't wait
I
to go
got
check that
7
out.
all stars. I
Yeah,
got 7 all stars, even the
yeah.
one in prison, because he got
It,
a talent too. And all he got to do is get his head right when he come home on his release date
yeah.
and do what he need to do. I'm not giving up on him because they still my children. That's
That's
still
it.
my child.
That was his choice, April. You see what I'm saying? You do
Right,
all that you can do, but people are that's another thing about some people don't get about kids. You can do all the right things. You can do the very best that you can do. A person still got their own mind. They still gonna
right,
do what they want to do at the end of the day. Because it's their
right,
God given right to do what they want to do. You can say all the right things. You can do all the right things, the very best that you can do, and they'll still turn around and fuck up. Okay?
right, right.
Because it's human
But
nature. And I
but
can
what
I done fucked up a couple of times. Do you see what I'm
but
saying
see
in my
one
life?
but
And I
one
didn't
thing
get
about
nothing but support from my mama and my daddy, but I have always been my own person. I got my own line. Now I ain't never fucked up to the point to where, I done freaked around and destroyed my whole life, but I done came close to the edge. And if it wasn't for, my grandmama, pretty much my grandmama, because she's the only person in the world that that I have ever met that's stronger than me. And but if it wasn't for her, saying all the stuff that she used to say to me, I would have stepped
Right,
over the edge. I could have been a totally different person right now,
right,
And so I
right. And a lot of
understand what
people
you're
use
saying.
that as an excuse to be the weaker person or the victim. Cause
Well, I feel a lot of
I
victim
done
here
been through
coming
a
from
hell of a
men.
lot in my life, but I chose not to be a victim. I chose
Right.
to be victorious.
That's
It didn't make
exactly.
me hateful. It made me more loving. It didn't make me weak. It made me stronger. It
Yeah,
didn't make me shy away. It made me want to be a protector and a
absolutely.
provider.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm sure I just loved what you said about you, the way you was raising your boys. That is awesome. Because a lot of women don't realize it. Some do, but believe it or not, some don't. Because you never know. The parents of these boys, they may have come from a home filled with dysfunction. Do you see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So
And
how
see,
can
you
you
got to
teach
think about
somebody
that.
if you have?
That's what I wanted to say too. You got to think about his mama and your
Yeah,
mama and our grandmama. Back then, they had no rights. They had no voice. They had to
right,
go along with whatever it was. You understand me?
right,
So
right.
we had a choice to make. Once
Right. That's right.
we were raised by them and understood, we had a choice to make. They don't understand these new values, this new
Mm,
century,
it's
these new
true.
kind of ways.
It's
You
true.
know, back then they had no voice. They had to go alone. They could not speak up. They could not say nothing
Could
but be
not say
barefoot and
nothing.
pregnant.
That's right. That's
And let me
right.
tell you this, and I'm gonna go because I just took a break from what I was doing because I've been busy as all outdoors. It's a difference in being disrespectful and being disobedient.
Mm, that's true.
My
That's
boys
true.
was disobedient,
That's
but
true.
they wasn't disrespectful.
It's a
These
difference.
children now and like old boy over there and Tammy, sit your ass down somewhere. They
Mhm.
disrespectful.
Yes. Yes. That's the truth. That's
And
the
since he
truth.
want to chunk on the Bible, it say honor your mother and your father, homeboy, so that
That's
your
true.
days may be
Mm,
lived out this earth. Now that
that's
don't
right.
mean that you gonna die.
Mm,
That mean that you ain't gonna be. It could mean you not gonna be miserable. Your days you
mm,
ain't gonna just be a miserable old man.
mm,
You
ain't
gonna
that the
live out
truth?
your days happy. You gonna
Mm,
enjoy your days. But as we could see from him and Tammy, they miserable
yeah.
because
Yeah.
you dishonored your mother. If your mother in the middle of the
Yeah.
road smoking a crack pipe and sucking together, guess what? That's still your mama.
That's
That's what
right.
the Bible say. Ain't that
That's
what the
true.
Bible say, Miss O?
Right.
Since he
That's
want
true.
to chunk around the Bible.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. You
So how
right,
you gonna
actually.
dishonor your old girl and you gonna think you gonna tell me anything as a man?
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
go ahead and go, Miss O. Thank you so much, the ice cream man coming through. I don't wanna, you hear all that there. Thank you guys. If anybody in the chat, hey, Auntie, love y'all. Auntie doing her baby, and Auntie always gonna be good, baby. I miss y'all. I will be coming live when I get a chance to, but y'all gonna see me around. But baby, y'all keep y'all heads up, man, and
Right.
stay
Well,
off
thank
this
you.
bullshit, man. God,
Yeah,
it's a lot going
absolutely.
on out here in this world, man. It's a
Yeah.
lot more going on,
Real
man.
shit going on. Right. Right. Thank you,
You take
April, so
care.
much for coming up today. Thank you so much for your
No
words of
problem.
wisdom. Thank you.
All right.
Talk to you later, babes.
Okay.
Ronnie Q, is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, let me take the banner down. I just want to make sure.
Hi,
Okay.
Olivia.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
Oh, just fine.
Oh, I just wanted to add. A lot of people are saying in the chat that that maybe he has some daddy issues too,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that that is a good point
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
um, I- I look back on it, and
Mm-hmm.
as a child growing up,
Mm-hmm.
I have never heard the men when I was growing up, and I look at the men who were around me and surrounded me. I have
Mm-hmm.
never heard the men around me on either my mother or my father's side speak to women that they knew or that
Mm-hmm.
were strangers to them or that they knew casually. I have never heard them speak to women the way that he spoke to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
don't care if they, we had a woman who would get drunk and, sometimes she come down the street half clothed and things like that. She was like the town drunk, and
Mm,
they would never even talk to her that way. So
mm,
for him to speak to that woman that way, and and all this talk that he did, I've never heard a man in my era of growing up speak to a
mm,
woman that way. So therefore,
mm,
there could be a lack of, and then in like in my era, that's when divorce became a big thing. When I
yeah.
grew up when a two-parent household, and then divorce became a big thing in our
Yeah.
era, and then a lot of families start getting divorced and stuff, and that's when a lot of single parent household became about, and then a lot of single mothers just start having kids on their own, and
Yeah.
so the dynamics of family changed a lot when a lot of single mothers was just having kids by themselves. So the dynamics of family has changed, but he seems to be old enough to have been in an era where a father may have been around in his life at some point
Mhm.
to
That's
know
true.
better.
That's
So,
true.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
true. And
therefore,
age, and see, here's the thing. And I agree, Ronnie, and I also agree with I agree with what April said, but I also agree with what you said. And sexy Desi, she trying to get a point across her. And she was talking about that he ain't having mommy issues, he having daddy issues. What about the daddy? I
mhm,
understand that too. It's just that I understood what on-site April was saying too. But I get it. Perhaps he's having daddy issues as well as mommy issues. But
mhm,
more than that, he is to the age to where he has been old enough in the world long enough to know. Okay,
mhm,
so maybe he had daddy issues, maybe he had mommy issues, but he's 50 plus years old. You are old
mhm,
enough, and you're over a half a century old. You
mhm,
know good and well life has taught you how to treat other people. Do you see what I'm saying? So when it comes to this guy in particular, we really can't even use that as an excuse because he
correct.
is old enough to know he is acting like he want to act and talking how he want to talk because he want to. Do
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So I understand what she's saying. Well, on both sides, this sexy Dexy person, she said single mothers cannot have kids by themselves. That's right. That's impossible. Let's be clear. Those are deadbeat. Absolutely, there's deadbeat dads. There's deadbeat moms. I'm not trying to blame it all on the mama. You just saying, but it sounds like he had mommy issues, and it also sounds like he maybe had daddy issues. And what if he had the best parents in the
But,
world
but,
and he
but,
is just an asshole just because he
but,
want to be?
but then again, there's this. What if he had engaged parents? He could have had engaged parents, and he could just be a total dick.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what I
he
just
could.
said. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? He could have
Yep.
had parents who took him to
Yep.
church, was fully engaged with him, and he's just a total
Right.
narcissistic asshole.
Absolutely.
Um,
What if he's a domestic violence abuser? Not because he's seen abuse in the home. What if he's a domestic violence abuser just because he is a domestic violence abuser? What if he had a wonderful mother and a father? Do you see what I'm saying? And he just is the way he is because
See,
he's that way.
anything that we are talking about his past is just that, an assumption,
Right.
because we have no facts to go on. The only facts that we really have to go on is his current behavior. That's
Yes.
the only facts that we have to go
Yes.
on. And
Yes.
a lot of people think about you look at serial killers and you think that different things about serial killers. Some of the serial killers come from all different types of backgrounds. Some come from perfect
Mhm.
families. So
Yep.
we have nothing to go on but the behavior that we see displayed before us, and that behavior that we saw displayed before us was just unacceptable and unnecessary. You don't have to open your door when somebody knocks on your door at 4 in the morning. If you're gonna call the cops anyway, just call the cops and don't open your door. That was the solution, the resolution to the situation at hand. You don't have to
Mhm.
open your door. You don't have to do anything. You're gonna call the cops. You call the cops anyway. Just call the cops. I mean, all this ridiculousness and that went on. It
Well, a
was
lot of that
ridiculous.
stuff is for show. We got to
Yeah.
realize that a lot of that is for show. Do you see what I'm saying? And we can't forget about that either. You
And
know,
both, she said that she wouldn't have done it. I mean, everybody, and all this after talk and speaking after the fact and all this type of stuff. Okay, it's done, it's over with. She said she made a poor choice, she wouldn't do it
right,
again, and all this type of stuff, and recreating history and all this type of stuff. It's done and over with. Why try to recreate the wheel? We saw what happened. You made a poor choice. And all this after bravado about a situation that you
right,
called the cops for. If you were gonna call the cops, you just should have called the cops. All this um, extra male energy and pulling out guns on a woman and all this type of stuff. I mean, it's just all of it. You know,
it's real
I'm not.
theatrical.
Yeah, I just saw the snippet of the video. I,
Right.
I didn't see the before and after buildup of it. I'm not really following the story. I just hear snippets of it.
Mhm.
I'm not really listening to much of this merge between the sectors and stuff. Of course, I
Right.
saw the video, and of course, I hear the play by play from the content creators here who are
Right.
talking about what happened. But I'm not really following the back and forth that is as it
I
builds.
really don't even care about the back and forth at this point. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying about
exactly.
that certain situation right there?
Uh-huh.
Moreover, what I'm talking about is the amount of dysfunction coming out of this person's mouth because he's trying to usurp the whole sector and lay waste to it because they
Yeah.
couldn't keep their sector functioning because they're so dysfunctional and destructive, and you want to come somewhere else and take over that whole sector and thinking you're going to do the same thing over here, and that's
And
just not happening. You
and the
can't
thing,
usurp you can't you beat somebody over the head with the Bible, for instance, about home when it comes to homosexuality, when you got a whole lot of content and creators in this sector that are homosexual. It don't
and
make
then
sense. You can't tell the woman to stay in her place when a whole lot of women are in this sector. It don't
and
make
then
sense to me.
you know so much about the Bible, but you're not a Christian. And then when Jay
Right,
Wilson asked him something about his religion, he was stuttering and stammering about his own religion, and it didn't
right,
seem like he was well versed in his own religion because he started
right.
like stammering. And I'm like, but you can read Jay Wilson down about Jay Wilson's religion, but what about your religion allows you to disrespect women in the way that you disrespect women?
Yeah,
And see, that's like a contradiction, but I don't really don't care. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So I don't even bother
right,
to ask. But
right.
I found one thing really interesting. Um, when you guys were having a decent conversation
Mhm.
about the problems in Africa, that was a decent conversation, and that was a conversation that could have been had. And you guys were having a decent conversation, and you guys were giving your opinions about what was wrong with Africa. And you gave your opinion about Gaddafi, and he gave his opinion about the aircraft being downed, and Jay Wilson gave his opinion. And these are conversations that can be had, and sharing information
Yeah.
in that way. See,
Mhm.
these are the types of conversations that that we can have and we can share. But bringing it to this other BS and personal attacks and
Mhm.
pulling up and all this type of stuff. If you want to share information and if you want to share ideas and things like that, yes, we welcome that. We welcome something that you can bring to the table that the masses may not know. But if you want to come with, you know, the BS. No, nobody's interested in that. Yeah, give
Mhm.
enlighten us. Tell us something that we don't know, and it would be welcoming. Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's all I really had to say about it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I find it very interesting too, as well. I find it it's just the trying to just pretty much trying to rough ride over the whole sector for me. That is the thing that's very annoying to me. You know what I mean? And trying to make it, I really think that he thought that um he was gonna like score some brownie points in the sector, maybe with the heterosexual women by trying to beat Jay Wilson over the head with the Bible. Do you see what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
but he didn't realize that over here in the B sector, we deal with who we deal with. Like that's just like saying, well, I know you guys like Spiller Boy, for instance, and I'm not I'm just saying this for an example, okay? Don't nobody get their panties in the wad. I know you like Spiller Boy, but a heterosexual woman. I know you like Spiller Boy, but the heterosexual alpha male is here now. So it's time for you to leave him alone because the Bible says homosexuality is a sin. And so since I'm heterosexual, you need to follow behind me now.
But he doesn't follow but that's crazy because he says himself that he doesn't even follow the Bible. So
Right,
why is he talking about what the Bible says and he is not a follower of the Bible? So why are you putting the Bible out as
right,
something that should be followed and what the Bible says as something that is right and wrong when he says that the Bible is a religion is the Bible is something that he doesn't follow as a religion himself. So what is the point in the whole thing about dissecting the Bible when he
right,
doesn't follow the Bible himself? So where
right.
is the point? Is my point.
Here's the point. Yeah. And
You
then
know,
he's
it's
even trying
crazy.
to Yeah, he's even trying to turn the Bible around to what it wants to be. What he wants it to be, and a perfect example of that was when he was on Tracy's panel the other day, and Tracy was caught. He was giving her scriptures, right? And Tracy was, getting the definitions, or not her definitions. I'm saying Webster, but wherever she was going for the definitions, she was reading him the literal definition of the word. He did not want to accept the definition, not Tracy's definition, but the definition was, I'm saying the Webster's definition, right? And
Hmm.
he wanted to go against what Webster had to say.
And see, that's too much. And that's and that's too much to have a You cannot even have a conversation about what words mean. That's too much.
Right,
That's too much. That's crazy.
right. Yeah, it's just that little part right there said a lot to me because, like I said, she's reading you the definition. She ain't making up something. She ain't telling you what she thinks the definition should be. She's reading you the definition. Now he was not arguing with Tracy. He was arguing with the definition. Do you see what I'm saying, Ronnie Q?
And now, in the meantime, now check this out. Now, in the meantime, while you guys are up there having a historical conversation about the problems of Africa, real historical events that
Mhm.
have troubled Africa and its growth, real historical events that have happened that have plagued Africa and what's
Hey,
going
hold
on.
on, Ronnie Q. Hold on for a minute. Listen to this. Somebody down here said now, as if I was asking for help. Okay. Somebody got down here and said Sean Bradley just told all the gays in the B sector not to help Olivia. Let me just say this. Now I don't
Help
know if
you.
this fool said. Let me say this, Ronnie. Now I don't know if this fool said that or not. But Sean Bradley, I don't need you or nobody else in this B sector to help me with nothing. This was simply my commentary. Okay, I'm wanting to know what you trying to put it off on me because you scared to. You as a gay man is scared to say something to that man about calling you a sodomite and saying homosexuality was a sin. I am not a gay man, but so that ain't. How can you help me? How can the B sector, the gay men in the B sector, help me? When he wasn't talking about me, honey, I'm not a gay man. Make it make sense. And number two, I don't need no help from nobody for nothing to take care of none of you motherfuckers in a B sector. But once again, I am not a gay man. So when you gonna tell the gay men in the sector not to help me, no, you telling them not to help themselves. So if y'all want to crawl under a rock and let this man spit out all this homophobia, but you can call me homophobic, but you're scared to call him homophobic. That says a lot about you. But once again, I am not a gay man, so I don't need no help from you about what he said about you in the Bible. That don't make sense to me.
He's
Make
so
it make sense, okay? The gays in the B sector not to help me, honey. I don't need no help. He wasn't calling me a sodomite. He was calling y'all a sodomite. I'm just saying that don't make sense, ignorant. But go ahead, Roddy Q.
that is
Baby.
like I'm like dumbfounded. But Sean Bradley, when are you gonna address ZX? That's my
Exactly.
question.
He
When
called
are
you
you
a
gonna when are
sodomite.
you gonna
He said you was gonna burn in hell. Not
when are you
me.
gonna put on your romper and address ZX, Sean Bradley? The people want to know. In the voice of Tracy, we the people want to know. When are you gonna address ZX, Sean Bradley, and his homophobic language? Since you can willfully address Olivia and call her homophobic, when are you gonna do the same about ZX?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. He not calling me a sodomite.
And and
The
and,
hell?
and since he want to be noticed, I'm pretty sure this video will get him noticed by Mr. ZX. See, you
I
be careful
guess.
when you want to be noticed, Sean Bradley. See, you may put yourself on the radar talking about Olivia and ZX. This may put you on ZX's radar, Mr. Sean Bradley, and your little blue romper. I hope it really does, Sean
Well,
Bradley,
see what
since
he
you want
wants
to
to
be
do. Now,
noticed.
it sounds to me like I haven't heard the video. It sounds like to me that he wants to ingratiate himself when it comes to ZX, hoping that ZX will stay off his ass, and he want everybody to think that, oh Lord, I need help from the gays, because ZX is coming after me. No, baby, no,
I hope.
baby. I can
I hope.
handle that nigga. I can handle ZX by myself, Sean Bradley, just like I can handle you by myself, Sean Bradley. Now you can tell that shit to them old bitches over there and try to make it seem like it's something that are not, okay. But everybody know me, know that I don't need no help. I ask my own people, my own porch watchers, please do not windmill for me. I got this,
I
okay.
hope I hope somebody at ZX with that live, and then ask ZX with that picture
No
of him
problem, I
with
don't
that
mind.
blue romper on. Somebody
Right,
please do me a favor and ask ZX with that picture of Sean Bradley in that blue romper, and then
right,
at Sean Bradley at ZX with
right.
this live, since Sean Bradley wants to be noticed.
So
Please
did he try to
do
make it
me a
seem like
favor,
I was scared of
somebody.
that? Did he try to make it seem like I was scared of ZX or something? Is this the narrative that he trying to spin? Like he done failed and bumped his ugly ass motherfucking head. The
Sean
fuck?
Bradley wants ZX attention. Y'all,
Fucking weirdo.
please
I guess
give.
he want to send a ZX or "Ooh baby, let me lick your balls." That type of text message
Yeah,
that he was sending Food Junkie. Maybe that's what he want to do. Let me
tell
lick the top of your bald
tell
head, baby.
tell
Maybe that's
Z
what he wants.
tell ZX that Sean Bradley want him to lick it like a comb.
Okay, exactly, exactly. Child, he better make it make sense. Child.
'Cause obviously, he needs some attention from ZX
He
around there
trying to make it seem like
to
I
the
was scared of that
Baltimore.
motherfucking nigga or any motherfucker up on here. Boy, all these people know me. The fuck? Fucking weirdo. I
Anyway,
don't
Miss
went up against the
Olivia,
whole goddamn motherfucking manosphere. Make it make sense, nigga. You call light work, okay? You and ZX, y'all are called light work, honey. The fuck?
tell ZX that it's a pink door around there waiting to be opened up.
Okay? Sure. You want him to come on in the room, okay? Sure, come on in the back door of the room.
Tell
The
him he
fuck?
Tell him it's a pink door around there that's waiting to be bust wide open.
Sure. Or
Pink door,
something.
Ain't got no walls.
He said, "Come on, Zia, come on over here so I can put on my spandex outfit for you." What was the outfit that he had on with the cape on it
With the
and the
cape
lighter
and
shoes?
some light up heels.
Yeah, he want to wear that for him. He want to put that outfit on. And like you said, after he climb out of that, he gonna put on his romper. Okay, girl,
With
girl,
a little cowboy
girl.
hat on his head.
Oh, okay, child, make it make sense. Trying to imply that I was afraid and I needed help. Child, make it make sense.
And don't forget his fungus toenails.
Okay. And no special or word. Like I said, he wasn't calling me a sodomite. Hey, Cloud, is that you? I think Cloud, he probably having difficult. Cloud, we can't see you or hear you, so uh, log off and then log back on. I mean, put yourself down and put yourself back up,
Hey,
Cloud,
Dovey.
because I can't see or hear you. And that might have been a troll anyway. So, but it's probably
Oh,
Cloud.
Baltimore and Philly are close by. Zoom, 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 zoom.
What you say, Ronnie?
Somebody said Baltimore and Philly is not far from each other either. They can
Uh
be there
oh.
and they can
Maybe
do a
trying to
drive.
get a
Talking
hookup.
about a drive up, a
Maybe
pull up,
trying to get a hookup, girl. Oh, here go Cloud. Okay. Hey,
pull up,
Cloud, is that
drive,
you?
pull up and drive through.
Right. Okay. Hey, Cloud.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Auntie. Good afternoon, Ronnie Q.
Hi, Clyde. I'm clowning.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, this actually all started last Saturday, right?
I think so, Cloud.
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
I believe it was actually last Saturday when we were on Pastor Jay Wilson's panel, and it escalated from there. I've never even heard of the guy until that time, to be quite
Me
honest.
either.
Um, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really watched him like that. So
Hmm.
I mean, so for me to try to explain him, I mean, unfortunately, guys like that speak for themselves. I mean, I don't know what his past experience has been. Um, Obviously, he is extremely aggressive towards the opposite sex, and I mean if you're 50 plus years old, there's no excuse for that. I mean, I understand some people are trying to do stuff for shock value, for clicks and views or what have you, but there's another way to approach that. I mean, that's just my opinion, which you know means absolutely. I know to certain people, obviously, it means absolutely nothing, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that he has a mother, a sister, an aunt, or a niece, and you certainly wouldn't want to disrespect your female family members like that. It's just my opinion. Wow, it got really quiet all of a sudden. What happened?
Oh no, Claude, I was just letting you speak. I didn't want to interrupt at all. So I was just letting you speak because I wanted to know what you thought about it because you are a heterosexual man, and he claims to be a heterosexual male. Do you see what I'm saying? And but yeah, I found it interesting going back to I guess last Saturday, like you say, stuff happened around here so fast. When I click off, and I found it interesting how he if you're not agreeing with his points then he's just out of whack about it. He's very ignorant and he doesn't know anything. Like he tried to when we were on the panel saying we were talking about Gaddafi, for instance, and he was saying that the reason why Gaddafi was killed is because of something that happened in 1988, and we know that the reason why Gaddafi was killed is because of the gold denari. Like we know that for a fact. And if he was well read, if he was to read anything, maybe the last time he heard about Gaddafi or something that Gaddafi done was in 88. Okay, but they waited all the way to the 2000s to get rid of Gaddafi because of something that happened in 88. No, I don't think so. That was ignorant for him to say, and so, yeah, you're right.
And also attacking Jay Wilson about that
Hmm.
made absolutely no sense. And listen, obviously, I'm a heterosexual male. what I mean, what Pastor J, who he that that has nothing to do with me. That's first and foremost. I mean, and why is he so worried about who he's sleeping? I mean
Right.
that has absolutely nothing to do with him. I mean, it would be one thing if Pastor J was out of pocket trying to talk to him in a certain way, which he did nothing of the sort.
Exactly.
Then that's a whole nother ball game. But he,
Right.
in fact, to be quite honest, in my opinion, I think and listen, obviously, I can't tell anybody how to run their platform, but he
Right.
was much too gracious to him as it was.
Yes.
But then he really went left because instead of arguing, making your point without being malicious for no reason. And
Right.
listen, and listen, let me backtrack a little bit too. If that's all you get out of the Bible is that, then you need to be reading a heck of a lot more.
Right.
Okay, but and listen, me personally, I don't agree with homosexuality. It's not my lifestyle, but you know what? I leave the judging to the Most High Himself. I am not qualified to judge anybody. But there are
Mhm.
a ton of other sins that we all have to answer to because the fact of the matter is we're all sinners. And we're all going to be judged accordingly when that time comes. Now, I
Right.
hope that time isn't anytime soon because I have a hell of a lot more living to do. I mean, by means of the Most High's will. But
Right.
I mean, if that's all you got out of the Bible, then you need to maybe read it a few more times because there are a lot of things, especially when you see what's going on now, that really relate to the Bible. But I guess there are no clicks and views for that.
I guess. And then he just wanted to be he just wanted to be he thought that he was going to, in my opinion, he was clout chasing.
Yeah.
And he wanted to pretty much, he felt like if he get on there and say you're gonna burn in hell because you're gay, it's a sin to be gay and all of this and all that. I really think in his demented mind that he felt like he was appealing to maybe some of the females in the chat, and he could bring them over to his side, because at the end of the day he's clout chasing, and that was just a point he tried to drive home. But he made himself sound stupid. He made himself sound misogynistic when he got flustered and he started talking about the woman cannot teach a man anything according to the Bible, and she should be behind the man, and all of this and all of that. And that really just proved to me how misogynistic he really is. So I am not impressed. And so yeah. So I agree with you, Claude.
Well, once you brought out Geno Jennings, it was a wrap anyway. Because anybody
That,
who has listened to him,
mm,
you already know what he's all about. So once he did that, he basically lost about 85% of people anyway. So, and then the other 15% he lost when he was talking about how women can't do this, that, and the third. So
uh,
he he went about everything the absolute wrong way.
in my opinion, he did. I agree.
And and the sad part is when he had a chance to rectify things, he basically threw gasoline on a fire when he
Yeah,
did
in
that
my
on
opinion, yeah.
Pastor
Now,
Wilson's panel. And it was just, and for the most part, it was just him and Jay Wilson until, and that's what made it even worse. He really looked like he looked like an out and out coward when you came on there, and he basically ran off. That was, I mean, that was downright pathetic.
Yeah.
now, I wanted to I wanted to talk about what you were talking about, Muammar Gaddafi.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now you were talking about what ZX was saying about Gaddafi and the death warrant that was signed out for him, and you were saying it was because of the money thing, and he was disagreeing with you. And I wasn't sure because you had brought out that point, and I didn't know about that. And see, and that's why it's good to have dialogue. So because I didn't know about this. What do you call that money? Dinar?
The Nari, the gold
Dinar.
Denari.
Okay, see, and another thing is because Gaddafi was welcomed back into NATO because Gaddafi was blamed for bringing down that Pan Am flight and
Right.
blowing up that Pan Am flight, but he was eventually welcomed back into NATO after he
Mhm.
was blamed for bringing down that flight too. Yes, there was a death warrant put out on
Mhm.
him, but
Mhm.
eventually he was welcomed back into
Mhm.
NATO for that oil that he had. So
Mhm.
that is another point that
Mhm.
was skipped over.
Yeah.
So just that's why conversation is important, and
Yes.
people, nations will do a lot of things for money and
Mhm.
riches. So you
Yeah.
know, that's a point that I wanted to bring about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish you guys could have finished that conversation, and
Yeah.
but ZX was. Um, I think that he got out of, he got booted from the panel, right?
Or either he's no, he did. The Jay Wilson did booted from the panel. If anything, he dropped off because he got frustrated.
Oh,
So
he dropped off from the panels. Yeah, so we could never finish that conversation. But that was another point that they welcomed him back into
mhm.
NATO even
Mhm.
after that Pan Am flight thing.
Because of the gold, because he had
Yeah.
gained more power.
Hmm.
If he had not started talking about change, making the gold denarii the gold standard, he would not have been killed. And because he was actually going against the agenda when it comes to the World Bank. Okay, because we are even now moving towards, in my opinion, we are even now moving towards a one world order. And in my opinion, also, when we're talking about that, China is also wants to insert itself at the top of the food chain when it comes to the world banking system, as well as the one world order that we're leading toward, in my opinion.
You mean the New World Order?
The world, they're leaning towards a one world order. I will talk about that, or new world order, if you want to call it that. Do you
Uh-huh.
see what I'm saying? Because they are furthering by this virus that we got on.
Uh-huh.
I think that this is just my opinion. This is not only a form of population control. In
Correct.
my opinion, I believe that this right here, what we're going through right now, this was brought on not by nature, but
No,
by by a bio weapon. And I'm
biological
not the
weapon.
only, yeah, and I'm not the only one that believe that either. So
Correct.
I'm just saying, as far as my opinion, I think that this is a bio weapon, and this is another tool when it comes to China asserting itself at the top of the food chain when it comes to a new one world order, as well as a new world banking system. People got to pay attention to what's going on. And like you said, it always comes down to a money. Like you said, Gaddafi was welcomed back. Okay, he wasn't killed. He didn't have he wasn't killed because of what happened in 1988. Okay,
Hmm.
because he grew immensely in power and he was enormously wealthy when it came to gold. That's why he wanted to insert the gold standard when it comes to the world banking system, because he knew that if he could insert the gold standard, he would have power. He would be at the top of the food chain as opposed to America or even China,
And
because the largest deposit of gold on this planet is on the African continent. That is why
exactly.
he wanted to make the gold denarii the gold standard, because he would have power. He would have rule over that. The most, the largest gold deposit right there on the continent.
And Miss
So that
Olivia,
is why he was ultimately assassinated. And not only have they assassinated him, but they done went after his kids too.
There's another caveat to that, and you've heard me say it a few times in the past. One of the problems with our country's money now is the fact that way back in 73, Richard Nixon took America off the gold standard.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that
Yep.
never gets talked about.
Yep.
and that is why Barack Obama, and it is ironic that it was Barack Obama who did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That is why Gaddafi was assassinated
Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
U.S. It
But
had,
you know they did that under Obama for a reason, right, Cloud?
well, I mean, if you want something done, they always use us to do the dirty work.
Yeah. I think that they felt like if they did it under Obama, it would be a softer blow. You know what I mean? And so that's yeah, I
I
agree
think
with
that
you.
has a lot to do with it. That another so-called black man taking out another so-called
Uh
black,
huh. Uh huh.
even though it is another African taking out another African
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
in that perspective.
Absolutely.
But
Because Barack Obama, we know that he's not ADOS, but we
no,
know that his father is
Nigerian.
Kenyan. Is it Nigeria? I
No,
thought it was Kenyan.
no, you might be right. It might be
Kenyan, Kenyan,
one of the
Yeah.
two, and his mother
Kenyan.
obviously is a white woman.
Absolutely.
And,
I feel like it would be a
and
softer
remember,
blow.
he didn't want anything to do with reparations, which lets
Hmm.
you know exactly how he really feels about our people. And
Right.
then all of a sudden now he wants to have a dialogue about it. Yeah, right.
Right. Right. All right. The devil's always in the details, Claude, and I agree with you. But yeah, I mean, and then I guess circling back around to ZX, I'm assuming that is he wasn't up to date on the information as it pertained to the Gaddafi subject. And the last thing he heard about Gaddafi, I guess, was in '88, and he was kind of stuck there,
But that's
and that's
okay.
unfortunate.
But that's okay. That's why it. But he allowed himself to play himself out of the conversation,
Yeah,
but he just played himself out of the conversation. But it's good to have these conversations. That was my only point. But he got so angered that he couldn't continue to have the conversation, and it 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 let the whole chat miss out on a good conversation that
hmm
needed to be had, and a lot of people missed out on learning.
right.
This conversation is my point.
Hmm.
So in the meantime, while you guys were having this conversation in the chat, there's this person who insist on saying that they're black, but they don't have any black references, any black frames of references, who uh, insults people by calling them maids and uh, mammies and this, that, and the other. But they insist that they are black themselves, but use these things to insult black people. Who says, uh, does does any of them sound like they know anything about Africa? And you guys are talking all these historic things about Africa, and you do sound like you know some of the problems of Africa. And she's using all these uh, types of references to insult black people, but says she's black herself. And then I said, well, what do you know about the problems of Africa? And she says, well, I know the Biden administration just signed this something into effect that's not going to help Africa. And I was like, so the only problem that you know about Africa is something about the Biden administration, and you're questioning what these people know about Africa, and they're stating his things back in history, historic problems back into history, and you can only quote something about the Biden administration. And then she came on Pizarro's live the next day, and then she said, yeah, ZT was on talking about some Pan Am flight, and I don't even know if that even happened. And I'm gonna say that that didn't even happen, and he blamed Gaddafi or somebody for blowing up, and I'm gonna say that that didn't even happen, and this, that, and the other. And no one in the chat even questioned her. They went like, I believe her, I believe her. And this is the type of stuff that I'm saying, that we as people will go along and believe somebody who is so ignorant, as the, and because we don't like ZX. Okay, I don't like ZX and his ignorance, his type of ignorance about women and this, that, and the other. But don't you hate the messenger so much that you can't hear the message? You see what I'm saying? And but we will believe somebody who we have no reason to believe because of her feelings, but she brings no facts. And see, this is what it gets lost sometimes in the translations because we hate the messenger that we miss the message. And that's my whole point in this conversation. I don't know how to really express this the right way because you guys were having a real good dialogue, but it got lost in feelings and things like that.
Yeah.
And we miss a whole lot of stuff that we really need to know. You
Yes.
understand? And it wasn't your
100%.
fault. It was his fault. You see
Mm.
what I'm saying?
Who was saying all that stuff, all the extra? I don't even know if that happened or who was doing that, Ronnie?
This is some chick. This is some. She's just a regular subscriber. It's just a regular subscriber that they
Mm,
keep putting up on panels all the time.
mm,
Um, and I'm quite sure she's a white woman. I'm quite
mm,
sure she's a white woman pretending to be
mm,
black, and she's always saying this real troubling shit. And I catch her on her shit all the time. I'm
mm,
really sure she's a white troll trying to pretend to be black, and I catch her
mm,
all the time on this little shit she tries to play. But
mm,
but they give her a voice and have her on platforms talking this dumb shit all the time. But
mm.
I always catch her, so don't worry about that. I got that under control. But
Okay.
she puts this out there, and then she has to chat supporting her. Yeah, I believe that too. I believe that too. And like, what? How do you guys believe that? She has put no facts. That crash did that plane was bombed in
All
1988,
you
and
gotta do is
Gaddafi
you can
was held
Google it.
accountable for that. That is a fact. Her
Right,
feelings means nothing. Those were facts. And just
right.
because ZX said it happened and you don't like ZX does not disprove that that is a fact and it did happen.
It did happen. Yeah,
So
Google it.
so fuck what she feels. That is a fact. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
then after that, you can't say anything else. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I always and anytime she says anything like I feel that fuck how you feel, that where's your facts? So,
Exactly. Is that way, especially when it comes to something important like that? Do some
mhm,
research for yourself.
yeah,
Anything that I ever say you are, please go back and research. But we
exactly.
don't have enough hours in the day on the live stream, to get down to everything that we need to get down to. So we
Mhm,
try as fast as we could to
mhm,
get the Cliff Notes versions of things in hopes that if you're really interested into it, you will go and do some research for yourself. Just like you're using your phone to get on somebody's panel, use your phone to do some research,
mhm.
you know, because your
Yeah.
phone is also a computer. So before you make an ignorant statement like that, probably you should take a moment to research it. It'll pop back up, it'll pop right up. Just enter it in the search engine, for goodness
So
sake. So I agree with you, Ronnie. Yeah.
so I guess my final point is that with you and ZX and anybody who have uh, information and have viewpoints of information, I hate that you guys get when you guys have disagreements that is about smaller things or insignificant things that you guys uh, get sidetracked and don't have the larger conversation of importance that the audience need to hear.
Yeah.
That's what you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
I really hate that because it's so much of bigger conversations of greater importance besides the side shit in the beef sector or the black sector, which really does us no good anyway. You guys have greater information that we need to hear and need to be put out and maybe need to be chopped up and analyzed and shared and hashed over. And, that would do us a lot of good.
I'm
Yeah,
glad you said that, Ronnie Q.
me
And
too.
I
Yeah.
apologize if I cut in front of anybody. But what what happened this past week is a microcosm, and you say it a lot, Auntie, how YouTube is a microcosm of what happens in our communities.
Uh-huh.
Well, this past week was a microcosm of what is wrong with us as a people in general. There
Mm.
are, see, the difference between our people and our enemies are, even though we might not like somebody, or you know what, I'll just let me restart that. The other nations, even if they cannot stand that person, they will come together for the
Mm.
common cause to keep
Yeah.
us from getting exactly what we're supposed to be getting.
Mm.
Whereas we will rather tear down each other than to come
Mm.
together as a whole. Not now, obviously, not all of us, but not enough of us are doing that. Instead of, see, instead of humbling himself and acknowledging being wrong. And listen, I'm not right all the time. I'll be the first to
Mm.
admit that. And I have absolutely no problems when I'm by saying, you know what, I was wrong about this.
Mm.
These are the real facts.
Yep.
But instead of, and we are so afraid to be wrong, and we always have this last word syndrome as a people, where we're not even trying to listen to the other side. It's to the point where, you know what, I don't care how wrong I am, I can't show weakness.
Right.
Like correcting yourself is a sign of weakness, where that is absolutely the opposite. That is showing strength. That is showing that,
Mm.
you know what, you can admit your faults and you can work on it and turn a negative into a positive.
Mm. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Two people have y'all know Cloud is not single. Two people in the chat,
Uh,
Cloud, have asked if you're single. Cloud is happily married.
Very
He
happy
loves his
married.
queen. He takes care of his queen as well as his stepmom. Cloud's a very loyal man. He's a very honest man. We love Cloud over here. But no, Cloud is not single. He
Uh,
loves his queen. Yes, he does. I'm sorry, Cloud. I finally had to answer that for you.
no,
I figured you didn't see it.
no, I didn't, because when I come on, I'm not on the other device because I don't
Yeah,
want the other feedback, and I don't want to mess up anything.
right. But yeah, I just wanted to give another answer to that child. So yeah.
Very
Look at
happy.
Ronnie Q said, step back, you hussies. Viewers of you said, does Cloud have a brother or any single male friends?
I'm the firstborn only son.
Viewers of you said, we got questions. Y'all a mess. Y'all better leave Cloud alone.
Yeah, I guess it's time for me to go then. Um,
Uh-oh.
um, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you having me on the panel yet again, Auntie. Ronnie
I'm
Q.
gonna step down too, Miss Olivia. It was nice talking to
Oh,
you.
Okay.
content
Okay.
too,
Thank you, Ronnie. Cloud, let me ask you something. Thank you, Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Cloud, let me ask you something before you go. Well, how are things going when it comes to the Rona around in New York? What's going on with that? Are the
Yeah,
numbers
it,
growing or
yeah, the numbers are growing here in New York City. In fact, they're doing the $100. You, if you get the vax, you get $100 gift card. You know, it's gotten crazy. But the
mm,
problem is, even if you're fully vaccinated, you can still transmit the virus the same
yeah,
as a person who's unvaccinated. So, what's
yes.
the purpose of getting the vaccine?
Well, I think that they are trying. You remember, Clyde, when we talked about them implementing the HR 666
Yeah,
six, when we talked
yeah.
about that,
The
it
guy
would
from
appear that they're
Chicago.
trying to roll that out.
Oh boy, I tell you, listen, we are getting closer. Now, see, that's a biblical thing that should be
Yeah,
talked. The
yeah,
last days, the great tribulation.
yeah,
Why was that needs to be talked about?
yeah. Hey,
Not
Jay Wilson,
oh hey Pastor Jay,
we was talking about you, Jay Wilson.
yeah, we gotta have that sing off one day, Pastor Wilson. You'll probably kick my butt, but that's all right though.
But yeah, Claude, you're right about that. Yeah, because I seen, and the reason why I say they're starting to started to roll it out. And we talked about it months ago. They're already saying that they are requiring federal workers to be vaccinated. Other I seen on TV where they say Google and Netflix and Facebook were requiring their workers to be vaccinated. But at the same time, you have several states fighting against mask mandates. Fighting against their own people's best interest, in my opinion, especially when it comes to kids. Like, why would you not say, since the virus is so easily transmitted, even with this Delta variant, like you said, they are saying that even if you are vaccinated, you can still transmit the disease. So if you can still transmit the disease and the virus, I'm sorry, and you're vaccinated, why not try to look out for the kids, as much as possible? That's not what I'm understanding. Like
Yeah,
you're not mandating, you're not requiring the kids to wear masks in school. You won't enforce the mask mandate for the children in school, even in the elementary school where the vaccine, is not even the kids under age, what is it,
under
14 or 12
under
can't even
12
take
years
the vaccine, but you won't even require that the mask be worn in the school.
and worse off, at least here in New York City, is the fact that they're not even talking about doing it from home anymore. You're
Right,
forcing the children. You're forcing them to come on. I mean, to go into these schools, which are overcrowded as it is.
right,
I mean,
right,
you're going to do that. At least make sure that there's only X, Y, Z about in each classroom
right,
before
exactly.
you have these
Right,
kids back in the school.
right. Is that you, Ronnie Q?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Hey, Jay Wilson.
I see.
I just want to take the banner down, y'all. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Cloud. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, it's quite all right. It's quite all right. I just feel it's very irresponsible
Yeah, me too.
of Mayor De Blasio, because he's unfortunately still the mayor of New York City, to
Yeah,
say, listen, I'm gonna herd all of these kids into school
yeah.
without even giving you the option of homeschooling. That is an absolute disgrace.
Yes,
Now,
horrible.
what
Horrible.
I will never tell anyone, you know what, don't get the vax. Anybody who decides to get vaccinated, you're doing this
Right.
for the simple fact you want to protect you and your
Ab-
family. I will never,
Absolutely.
ever, ever criticize anybody for doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, me either. Me
That
either.
being said, I'm still extremely skeptical. I mean,
Yeah.
especially when you're telling me if I get the vaccine, I can still spread it. Come on.
My
When does
major concern,
when
like I
does
said, my major
university
concern
protect?
is about the children. If you're going to require federal agencies to continue to wear the mask, as well as be vaccinated, make it mandatory, why not do the same thing for the kids, at least as far as the mask go, especially in elementary school, because there is no vaccine being approved for those young children yet. You know, so you're not mask mandating the elementary schools, which means even if the teachers and the other adults in the building are vaccinated, they still can pass this virus on to the children that are not even old enough to be vaccinated. So that's my issue. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to the kids, it just seems so unfair to me. It's ridiculous.
Welcome to New York City.
I mean, just in general, it's several states, not just New York, Cloud. But you're right about that. Here in the state of Tennessee, they doing the same whacked out thing. And but like I have some of my nieces, the older ones, they have to go back to school. But they have to. But we stipulated in our home. I don't care what them people tell you. You better have that mask on all day. Do you see what I'm saying? But then the younger children, they still have to be homeschooled. I've got one nephew that has really, really bad. He has chronic asthma, and he has to be homeschooled again this year. You know, and it's just real scary to me. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy. But anyway, how you doing, Jay Wilson?
Hey, I'm doing fine. I was listening to the conversation, and unfortunately, in my original state, my state of origin, Florida, we have a kooky governor
Oh,
who's allowing anything going to go, and also in the state of Texas. I have the vaccine, and I will be getting a booster regardless because I think it is necessary. I don't know why they're holding it out. However, I do agree with these corporations saying that either you can take the vaccination or be tested every week. And I think it's only fair because, again, I don't want to go against anyone else's rights, but then I don't want to get a breakthrough. And even though there are breakthroughs happening, meaning that some people are catching COVID who's had the shots, they're not dying in droves like the people who have not. And all I'm saying to you all is this Delta variant is extremely contagious. I've had 4 first cousins, one who was married, had a wedding. People went to the wedding, didn't have a mask on. They weren't vaccinated. Now 15 people contracted the virus. A cousin going to Miami to visit relatives. 5 of the folk in the van got the virus. Another friend, just yesterday, I canceled going to a concert in San Antonio, and they were dead bent on going. Now they got COVID in the hospital, and somebody asked their son. And then I had a first cousin. If it weren't for another cousin picking him up, thank God she had the shot. When they got him to the hospital, they said he would have been dead. So I'm not here to convince anyone to do anything, but I would not recommend anybody to take their 12-year-old and under child to go to school because I don't even feel safe. And some of these teachers aren't even required to be vaccinated. So I think it's too dangerous. And again, the rates have gone up. I don't know about in New York or Tennessee, but the rates of the hospitalization have gone up.
They going up there too.
Trained nurses are not coming into their shifts because they're burnt out, and it's taking people upwards to 12 hours or maybe a day or two to even get into a room. So it's really bad out there. So I'm not trying to convince anyone.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. But I just want you to look at what's going on. Now, I have the virus. I mean, not the virus, but the vaccine rather. And I have not had any side effects. And I am going to get a booster because of the work that I do and don't want to be around people who, haven't done what they needed to do. Because I think that at one point in time, even the vaccine is going to wear out until they find out what they can really do to do what we have to do.
Yes.
Last thing, Miss Olivia, and I promise, I live in Florida, and in my school system, we were vaccinated rather for everything, from elementary school all the way to 12th grade, all the way to college. We were vaccinated. Hell, we didn't even know what some of them vaccinations were, but we were vaccinated. So it's not a big whoop to me. And I know when I was getting my vaccination, those white doctors and those black doctors and those Indian doctors were right in line with my black tail getting those jabs because they knew the importance of it. So that's my thought for that.
Yeah, my issue is yeah, you're actually everybody has a right to make their own decision as to what they're going to do about being vaccinated or not. My issue was the fact of the children, 12-year old and under, like you said, going back to school. And in my state, they're not requiring masks. They're not mandating masks, nor are they requiring that the teachers and the other adults in the school that are around these children that are not even old enough to be vaccinated, they are not requiring them to even have the shot.
It's
You
almost
know,
like they're trying to do population control. I'm like,
right?
are you
It's not
serious?
all. They are, but
I mean, and that's the sad part. Like Governor DeSantis in Florida, the cruise ship industry wants to get back, but the governor is saying, no, you cannot ask people, do they have a COVID card if they get on these cruise ships? And the cruise ships are like, you are decimating our industry because no one would want to be on a cruise ship. And
Mm,
already, cruise ships are having outbreaks of COVID because of
mhm.
the stupid rule that this governor is making. So
Wow.
I'm telling you, I don't know, and I don't know if this Trump mindset is going to prevail, but hopefully it fades because I think that it's going to backfire. I think
Yeah.
it's really going to backfire when these
Yeah.
people start dying in droves. I think
Yeah.
it's
But I don't.
I don't think it's going to fade. And I tell you what, it's actually set up for this clown to be president yet again. I hate to
I
say
don't.
it. I can see this clown is going to be the president once again. It's
yeah,
set
Yeah.
up for it.
yeah. I'm scared for
Yeah, I
Chicago.
can see it too. Make it so bad, Claude. I can see it too.
And
Because
the
they
sad
was just
part is,
talking about him on the news today.
Let me say
Funny.
this:
the guy should be
remdesivir.
home. The guy should be. Listen, let's be fair. The man, and you know, I've said it. I've done a video on it. That man committed high treason.
Yes, he did. He need to be in jail right now.
He should have. He should have gotten death by firing squad for what he
Yes,
did
God.
to the
Yes,
White
God.
House.
Is
And
that
first,
you, Brad?
Nobody has
yes,
nobody has come out
Yeah.
against this guy. And look at the rest of these so-called Republicans who have co-signed this idiot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
What
say
a
something, Miss Olivia? Too, everybody's talking about this stuff is not FDA approved. Well, it's getting ready to be FDA approved because the Army and the military branches are really concerned, and it will be. At one point, remdesivir wasn't FDA approved, but you got to get remdesivir to live. So all I'm saying is, let's not be woke and dead. That's all I'm saying. And my thing is, even if you stay in your house, you have to be careful. I'm listening to these excuses, and I wish that I could say those people over there, but these are relatives of mine who said the same thing. And now they're saying, damn, I wish I would have taken the shot.
Okay,
That's what they're saying. So again, I've heard all of this, but when you have to tangle with that virus, that's a whole new beast. And I had to tell a close relative of mine, I'm not coming to Florida. If something happens to you, I wouldn't be able to get to the room anyhow. And do you know who's going to take care of your children?
I get what
And
you're saying,
that's
Pastor Jay. I understand what you're saying, but okay. Let me ask you this question. And I understand that you got the vaccine. That's cool. I bet you it wasn't Johnson and Johnson. Did you get the Johnson and Johnson one?
no, I got Pfeiffer. I mean, when it came out, I did it. I talked to my pharmacist, I talked to my doctor, I talked to the doctor that I knew. And matter of fact, I saw a lot of them at the hospital getting their shot. So I took that because it was the first one offered.
I wouldn't get a bag of potato chips with Johnson and Johnson's name.
But I understand that, and I would definitely. I think it's 3 out there now, and I would definitely, weigh it up. I just, Claude, Olivia, and panel. I would rather people wrestle with the effects of the vaccination than the effects of COVID, because I know people now still having respiratory issues, and they've been done with COVID for about 6 to 7 months, and they're still having respiratory issues. It does not. I mean, it beats up the body pretty badly, and so, like I said, I wish I didn't have to see a lot of stuff, but I see a lot of these people going in and out of the hospital. But I'm done with that, Miss Olivia. I just wanted to put the 2 cents in about that. Now I understand that people don't trust some things. I understand that our government and Black people have major issues with the medical establishment, and I get it, but
Rightly so.
yeah, it's a lot of things going on now. And when I see people really struggling and close to death, and they're not those people over there. I mean, I'm talking about family members. It gets real. It gets real, real. And,
Yeah.
and and I had a cousin who got a breakthrough, but she lived, and it was mild symptoms, and she
Mm,
didn't have to be hospitalized either.
mm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. My issue, like I said, I'm afraid. As an adult, you have a choice. Now some places, if you work certain places, you're going to be made to take it or lose your job, or like you
yeah,
said, be tested every week. But then when it comes to the children, that's my issue. 12 and under. I mean, come on, you're putting them in harm's way.
yeah, Miss Olivia.
What does
And I
that say
know
about
people
our
too that are
government?
not even vaccinated. Teachers, and I'm
Right,
like,
Worse still, people in the medical profession that are not vaccinated and they're around them. That
right.
that sort of tells. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody else, but that sort of tells me something.
yeah, it gets
That
really
tells me
dicey.
something too. But I think that my question is to you guys, and I want to ask you guys, since Brett is up here, what do you think that they're trying to do with the elementary age kids that are not able to be vaccinated? They're not requiring teachers to be vaccinated. They are not enforcing a mask mandate for these children. What do you think that's about? I want to focus on the kids for a minute because, like I
Can
said,
I talk? Can I
yeah,
talk for a
go
little
ahead.
second?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you know that there is a shutdown in Australia. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Australia is completely shut down,
Mm.
and there's no gathering. You can't exercise outside of 25 kilometers from your house. No funerals can have more than two people. It's totally shut down.
Mm.
The I forget, is the prime minister, the effective president of Australia, has actually used the word "new world order"
Oh
in
wow.
discussing the going forward in uh, was the future of Australia. He said, "Do not expect it to go back to the old way of life anytime
Okay.
soon because
Mm,
of this COVID." He said, "Get ready to for there to be a new world order. It will not be like it has been in the past, so get ready for it." The World Health Organization has also used the term New World Order in regards to the results of this COVID epidemic. They have actually used the terms New World Order because of this COVID epidemic. So this is what I believe is going on in regards to this COVID epidemic. I think the
mm,
United States is trying to coddle us into a false sense of security.
mm,
The United States has not done anything to prepare us for what's going on. Last night, the renters guarantee for people to not be evicted from their homes
yeah.
expired.
Yeah, I
Uh,
forgot about that. You're right.
It
Uh-huh.
expired
Yeah.
yesterday.
that expired last night. So we have not seen the effects that COVID has had on us. So we have not seen people getting thrown out on the streets because of the loss of their jobs, the loss of this the unemployment insurance help that they have been getting because the loss of their jobs, the protection that they had from the government that they could not be evicted. So we have not actually seen the dire effects of that COVID has really had on our lives. Now we're about to see it. We have gotten two little minuscule checks from our government $2,000 or $1,400 and $2,000 checks, while they've given millionaires and billionaires millions of dollars in COVID relief funds, while they've given the average poor and working class people uh, $1,200 or $2,000 checks in over 2 years. So we have been living in a false state of security. So I think the hammer is about to fall. So I think that we're about to either go into another shutdown ourselves. I think that we're in for a great, and also that Black people really need to understand that when the first shutdown came, uh, white people went and stocked up on bullets and survival gear. Black people, not so much. I think Black people need to understand that survival means more than buying potted meats and toilet tissue. And I think Black people need to understand those things. It takes more to survive than potted meats. And you need to understand that you need flashlights, you need waters, and you need some artillery to
Yeah,
survive. So
absolutely.
I'll
I
go one.
think,
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'll go one step further, Ronnie Q. When it comes to the moratorium on rent and housing in New York State, it ends at the end of this month, August 31st. But I believe in a couple of months we're going to be fighting two different diseases:
Mm.
this COVID variant and monkeypox. Because if you see what's going on in Texas, in California, in Louisiana, that's going to be the other one coming down the pipe. Because I tell you what, all you need to do is Google up monkeypox and see what's going on.
Mm.
Don't be shocked in another 3 to 6 months if we're not fighting two pandemics instead of one.
Mm. 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 Wow. Yeah,
Well,
let me read this for a minute, if I could. Tiffany says, in my opinion, they are using school age children as quote unquote super spreaders. If not, why not create a vaccine for all ages? Children, children under the age of 12, get vaccinated all the time. That is a wonderful a point. That is my issue. Are they using these? Going to be trying to use our children as super spreaders? Because when they go to school around the virus swirling all around them, they're going to take it home to the parents and grandparents and daycare, aftercare, programs and all of this and all of that. So are they, using our kids not only as guinea pigs, our small children, but also super spreaders?
and then, and what always happens when there's a major outbreak and there's a major disaster and stuff, who is always chosen first uh uh to uh go populate and to survive, and who is always chosen to leave behind because you're not useful? The older people.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely
they
that.
want to get rid of the older people. So who else, who better, like you're over 50, you're no longer viable. So
Right.
you're no longer useful. So they want to kill you off because you're no longer viable. They need young people. So they
But
get
also,
the young
if I
people.
can just interject, Ronnie Q, also they see black people as
Yes.
non-producers as well. But my
Yeah.
thing is, how you going to blame it now? I've seen a lot of reports trying to the propaganda machine is telling us that this variant is spreading because not enough people are being vaccinated. Right? They're saying that, and then on the other side of their face, they turn around and sending our kids to school 12 and under that cannot be vaccinated. They're not even requiring them to wear masks. The teachers don't have to be vaccinated. So then you send your kids home from school and they have to go out of these places because they cannot even be vaccinated. They're in the midst of adults that are not vaccinated. So Make it make sense.
But Miss
But the
Olivia,
prop, but the prop,
look at your government officials. We would have had no problem with the vaccination. I mean, if it weren't for government officials, we wouldn't have eradicated. I'm talking about people who could see polio. Now we don't have that as much as we had. We've eradicated. But when you have a man who tells people not to wear a mask, when you
Mm,
have a man who was about to die, and if it
mm,
wasn't for those cocktails to keep him alive, but yet will try to appeal to the lowest rung.
yes.
Now this is what we have. You have people at school board meetings telling the officials, you are going against our rights because
Yes.
you're making our sons and daughters wear masks and this is our rights, knowing that people are dropping dead. And
Yeah.
so my thing is, again, I look at this ignorant Republican governor out of Alabama
Mm.
and
Tennessee.
the other ones.
Hold
Now
on.
they want to get people to get shots, but now they want
Yeah.
to blame people for not getting shots. But those were the same people they were telling not to get it. And the sad
Exactly.
part about it is some of us have hooked on to it.
Yep.
And unfortunately, black people and brown people, people of color, are dying at extreme rates
Yep.
because some of us are not vaccinated. And like I said, this is not to convince people, because like I told you all earlier, you don't have to believe in COVID. COVID believes in you. And
but
so,
let
if
me,
COVID does.
you're not,
But hold on.
but let me,
Let's. I'm sorry to cut you off. Now, this is not just a Republican thing, because one thing that is certain about the United States of America, whether it's the right wing or the left wing, the bird is still filthy. Because if you look at New York State, look at Governor Cuomo, how many people he killed in those nursing homes, and he reported that. And they've been trying
Claude, I
to
don't have a problem with that. You're right, but it doesn't eradicate the fact that if people get vaccinated, we have a better chance of eradicating it. And again, you're looking at people who are catching the variant and dying, and they're not the ones who've been vaccinated. And that's the big concern. I understand what Cuomo has done, and he needs to give an account for that. And I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying that. But the bottom line is, the real deal is the people who are not vaccinated are the ones dying. And the ones who are standing a better chance of not dying. And that's all I'm saying.
But even the vaccinated
it goes back to those kids. I would not want my child, if I had one, to be in anybody's school at this particular point. I'm sorry, we'll just have to do online school till you can get it.
let me say something. Okay.
Go ahead, Brent.
Oh, well, I agree with you because I got on here because this last past week, to me, this was personal because, and I was really depressed and at my lowest point last week because I had to call the school system because I hadn't heard anything. And I have a 7-year-old. And only to get told that I didn't put in an application that I know I put an application in on, you know. So I instantly went into like the defense mode, and I was stressed. I was depressed. I spoke to many school officials in my district, and not one of them people. I cried. I explained. That I know how real COVID is firsthand, and that even if I had to go to jail, my child would not be going to school because he can't get a shot. And I basically had to call up to the highest people. No one in my school district helped me. No one at the Board of Education helped me. No one that they would just be quiet on the phone, and it would make me livid. It make me upset. I called the news station. The news station gave me false hope and told me they would call up and see what they would what they can talk to them about and see what they could do. I called him back the next day because I hadn't heard from him. He said they didn't return his emails. It took me some kind of way. I got in touch with someone that was an attorney over the schools in our district, and I started getting answers. Because I told him, I don't care if y'all give me an answer or not. I'm telling you, my son would not be walking through the school doors. And y'all
Right.
just have to do what y'all going to have to do, because you don't have a shot. You don't have anything to protect him. You don't have nothing to protect him. And when you're that age, you jump around, you want to touch the ground. You don't even know you're doing anything wrong. So you can't protect my child, because my child is not the only child in that school. And I'm
Right.
not going to leave that up to anyone to decide. So I just think this is very sensitive for me and very touchy for me, because like these officials don't care. They don't care about our
Right.
kids. They don't care, and it's just very
And also, Brandy, can you tell them that there are a lot of people going through this now? Now, thank God that if worse came to worse, he would have been enrolled out of our public school system, and he would have been enrolled in an online school where we would have had to pay. We didn't want to have to do that, but either way, he wasn't going into no brick and mortar school. But there are the issue is that there are a lot of kids being put in this precarious situation. There are a lot of people that can't even afford to take their babies out of these public schools, risk going to jail, but you're not going to send your baby to to death's door. Fortunately, we could have paid for our baby to go to school online if we had to. But the hurtful thing is what she's trying to say is that they try to brush it off and push us off to the side, and we had to go to the our way up to the state level to get some answers. Because if you don't want to have to pay for something if they are providing it for free, but
well. That was
they are
my
trying to
thing
deny.
was
They're
my
trying to deny people access. Is all I was trying to tell them, Brandy. That there's a larger issue. They're denying people access.
Miss
But my
Olivia.
issue is that Pam wasn't coming, and it ain't that I didn't have the money. But when you give me a deadline and you give me the rules, and I know
Right?
I did
We
it,
follow the
you're not going
rules.
to be able to tell me otherwise, and I'm
Right.
not going to let you tell me otherwise.
Right.
When I specifically know I followed your rules, and it's something a bigger picture than what you're trying to put out here, and only
Right.
to find out that it was 45 kids. Only 45 kids are going to virtual school,
Right.
and the rest are going back to school. I just don't understand it. I
Right.
don't get
And they
it.
were denying people. They were denying people. Even if you hadn't applied to have your child go to online public school, they were sending people emails saying that your child was denied. Your application was denied for him to go to online school. And some of these parents, because we had called around to some of the parents, they hadn't even requested put in the application for their kids to go to online school. You see what I'm saying? It comes down to the money. They're making our kids out of the super spreaders, or they're putting the price of a price tag over their head. See
Miss
that's what I was
Olivia,
talking
and
about.
it's not only schools. I tell you, they're having a soul concert right now that's getting ready to happen in San Antonio. I
Mm-hmm.
called the promoter. He said, "I don't know nothing about no COVID." I'm like, "Are
What?
you serious?" I'm like, "So you're gonna have all of those people packed in that event at Sunset Station?" And no, you don't have no guidelines. Because I'm asking you, the first thing I asked him was, what are the COVID guidelines? What are you all doing at Sunset Station to make sure that people are safe?
Mm,
Oh, we got some tables separated, but it's packed, it's full, it's sold out. So Sunset Station ain't but so big.
mm,
So now you're telling me that you don't even know about COVID, but yet you're putting profit over people's lives. And for all of you people talking
mm,
about FDA again, I don't have a problem with that. Long as you're good with going to work, getting tested weekly, and going through those things. If you are not going to get tested, I mean, take the vaccine, you need to be tested. Because, see, it's not only your life that you're dealing with my life and the
mm,
people who are going into those buildings. So the least you could do is get that nose swab every week, okay, to make sure you do not have COVID. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're going to either have to get the swab so we know that you're okay, or get the shot. So I think that is fair. I don't think that I need to be blunting the burden of people who may not want to have a shot, and it's their right. But at the end of the day, I don't deserve to be sick because you don't want to take the shot. And that's great. It's almost like them children in the measles shot. Okay, you don't want to take it? Well, teach the child at home that you don't have the right to come up here and spread all of this stuff to everybody else. So I just think we need to look at that in the bigger picture. And I'm
Yeah.
not telling people that they have to go take the shot, but
Yeah.
just know that you don't have the right to come in and get me sick, or who's to say I'm not to get you sick. So I just think we need to really look at those things.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
Absolutely. And you're
Can I
absolutely
say?
right.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
But see, like that's the thing about this reporting on the people who's not getting the shots.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the media coverage on how they purse this about, they're talking about it every day, and they're saying that it's spreading every day, and they're saying that it's spreading because people have not gotten the shot. And they keep on saying it's spreading because people have not gotten the shot,
Mm-hmm.
while admitting that
Mm-hmm.
if you do get the shot,
But you
you
still
can,
can catch the virus.
excuse me, while saying if you get the shot, you can still catch COVID and you can still spread COVID. So at the same time, how are you blaming the spread of COVID on the people who have not gotten the shot?
Because they're
It,
the ones who die. Can I say something really
excuse me,
quickly?
Jay.
Can
Excuse
I
me,
say
Jay.
something really quickly? Because you're
Excuse me,
blaming
Jay.
the media. But when you
Excuse,
look, when you work in
excuse
the
me, Jay
medical, no, when
Wilson.
you work in the medical field,
Excuse me,
you
Jay
see it.
Wilson.
You see
Excuse
it,
me.
ma'am. You
Excuse
see
me.
it.
Excuse me, Jay
But when you
Wilson. I
work in the
didn't
medical
interrupt.
field, you
Jay
see it.
Wilson, excuse me. I did not interrupt you,
I
Jay Wilson.
understand, but when you work in the medical
Excuse me,
field,
Jay
you
Wilson.
see it.
I'm not
So
done.
this is not
Ex-
media. This is
Excuse me, Jay
hospital.
Wilson.
This is
I'm not
hospital.
done talking. I'm
So
not
go
done
ahead, but
talking.
you're not making sense. If I have it, yes, I can
Excuse
get it.
me.
But if you don't have the shot,
Ex-
you can still die from it. That's what I'm
Excuse
saying.
me,
So go
Jay
ahead and finish,
Wilson.
ma'am. You
Excuse
don't have to
me.
excuse me. Go ahead and finish. I
Excuse me,
just
Jay
wanted to
Wilson.
correct that because you spotted out some
What are you correcting? I didn't say
you
anything
did.
incorrect.
You said media, but I'm telling you from a hospital and a medical stance. And if
What
you
did I
don't
say
work in a
incorrect?
excuse me,
What did
if
I
you
say
don't work in
incorrect?
a hospital, excuse me,
What
if
did I
you
don't
don't
have
work
to
in a
work in a
hospital,
hospital.
if you
I
don't
don't
work in medical and you don't
do
see
you
a
work
hospital,
do you work
yes,
in do you
yes,
work in medical
yes,
where
yes,
do I work, Jay Wilson?
yes,
Where do
yeah,
I
I
work, Jay
do,
Wilson?
I do.
Where
But
do
where
I
do you
work,
work,
Jay
ma'am? Where
Wilson?
do you
Where do
work?
I work, Jay
Where do
Wilson?
you
You
Hold
work?
on,
don't
hold on,
know.
y'all.
Where do you
Hold
work?
You
on.
I'm
don't
asking you.
know.
Where do you
You
work?
don't know where I
So
work,
where do
Jay
you work, ma'am?
Wilson.
So where do you
You,
work?
you don't know Jay Wilson, right?
So where do
Okay.
you work?
Thank you, Jay Wilson.
Where
Okay.
do you work,
Now,
man? You
what
got
did
where
I
you work?
say?
I
Well,
work, so I
what did
told
I
you.
say that was incorrect, Jay Wilson?
The media
Be
is doing it. Well, that's
specific.
true. But
Be
the thing is,
be
when you get your information from
be
the medical field, and okay,
specific.
so if you're not going to let me tell you what was
Be
problematic and what you said,
specific about what I said that was incorrect, Jay
you
Wilson.
said the media is hyping all of this stuff up, saying that people who don't get the shots are causing this thing like that. And I'm like, well, no, it's more than that. It is more than that. Where do you
Okay,
get
let me finish speaking,
that
Miss Olivia,
information
because
from?
okay, like I said, now the media is saying that because the people have not gotten the COVID shot, that they are the reason that COVID is spreading, while at the same time, they are brushing over the fact that people who have gotten the COVID shot can also get COVID and they can also spread COVID. But they are putting more of the concentration on the people who have not gotten the COVID shot. So COVID can be spread by people who have and have not gotten the shot. And I think that it is a real trying to put a stigma more on the people who have not gotten the shot to try to get people to look at people who have not gotten the shot in a certain way, as opposed to getting down to curing the shot. Yes, people who have not gotten the shot can spread COVID, but people who have gotten the shot can spread COVID just as well. And that is a fact. I think they're trying to stigmatize people who have not gotten the shot, and I don't think that is right. I think the media is doing a horrible job in that, and trying to stigmatize and trying to make people get this shot by targeting them, when it has been proven that people who get this shot are spreading this disease just as bad. And it has come out this week that people who have gotten this shot are spreading this disease just as bad as people who have not gotten this shot. This is a fact. And this is a fact. This has come out this week that people who have gotten this shot are spreading it just as bad as people who have not gotten this shot. So I don't like the fact that the media is trying to stigmatize people who have not gotten the shot as if they are such bad people. I don't have anything against people getting the shot or not getting the shot, but I don't like this mind game that they're trying to play with people. Let's get to the bottom of get rectifying this disease, but let's not stigmatize people into not getting the shot. Okay, uh, we need to get this country on one page. We need to protect this country. All this one state do one thing, one state do the other thing. All this we wear masks, we don't wear masks, we don't believe in science, all this crazy stuff. No, it has to stop. It needs to be federal mandates put down all across this whole United States, because this what's going on, this state by state stuff is crazy. There needs to be federal mandates passed down, which every state has to follow. And I think that this will solve the problem, because this what's going on right now is crazy. That's what I have to say about that. And
Yeah, but
I'm not, I'm not trying to
Olivia, before
I'm not trying to be argumentative about anything. I'm trying to protect everybody. I think that some of these crackpot ideas that people have is killing people.
Miss Olivia, I got to go in a few minutes. The bottom line is the people who are not vaccinated are the ones who are dying, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I have no issue with saying that people who have the shot may have a breakthrough and they can spread it. And that's why it's so important, because those people usually don't die. It's the people who are not vaccinated who die. It's those people who have to be hospitalized. Those people right now who are filling the hospital rooms. I can tell you right now in Central Texas, you may wait maybe a day or two to even get out the ED to go up to do this. So I don't think it's stigmatizing anything, but at the end of the day, people are concerned because this Delta variant is not like the other variant, and this variant is killing people off really quickly. And at the end of the day, you're right. Those people can spread it, even if you've had it. But the thing is, it's the death rate is those people who are dying. And again, with the state and the mandate, in the past, we didn't have any issues. But when you politicize public health, then this is what you get when you politicize it. But all I will say is, again, it is up to anyone to get their shot or not. But I would much rather you have it to tangle with the virus than just get the virus and not have it. Because I'm telling you, there are a lot of people who feel this way. But when you tangle with it, and when your relatives can't come to the hospital to see you except from the window, it gets really serious. And I'm telling you, people are dying within 2 to 3 days. So I can understand, but it's more concern about anything and not arguing and all of this stuff. But it's a serious deal out there, and when you see it in your own family and you're seeing it happen around you at an alarming rate, you take a different lens to this. So, but Olivia, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Can
thank you, Jay
I say
Wilson.
something before I forget?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cause my head is spinning.
Okay,
Now, what Ronnie Q said, I I agree,
me too.
but it just don't. Okay, I just gotta say it flat out. Don't To me it don't make. Well, I'm confused, me personally, on what Jay Wilson said because like what we've been learning and what we've been seeing is even if you have the shot, the vaccination, you can still catch COVID. Um, if you don't have it, you can catch COVID. And either way it goes, if you catch COVID, you may survive and you may not survive. So how can it just be pinpointed that people that are not vaccinated are the ones spreading it the most? Because that's kind of what I thought I heard him say, but I could be wrong.
Well, that's what Ronnie Q said. Well, because they are on the news, you hear them talking about all the time exactly what Ronnie Q said. They are trying to make it seem like the people that are not being vaccinated are the people that are spreading the COVID. But then at the side, on the other side of their face, they saying even if you are vaccinated, you can still contract and spread the COVID. And it's also true that even if you have the vaccine and you contract COVID, you can still die from it. That's all Ronnie Q was trying to say. And I
Right,
understand Jimmy Wilson side too. He's saying that, it is best if you take the vaccine, so you will be having a better chance of, even if you contract it, they're saying that you will have a lower risk of dying if you at least take the vaccine. But there's so much stuff coming out at one time. But as far as a propaganda machine and politicizing it, it does appear that, in my opinion, they are trying to make it seem like the super spreaders are the people that are not vaccinated, and that is not the truth.
We're
yeah, I
not
don't believe that's the truth
into
either.
this.
It's just confusing because I don't think they really know, to be honest. But I mean, you can't. It
I
don't
mean,
make
even it would appear to me that okay, since the onslaught of people being mass vaccinated, the virus has gotten stronger. It's replicated and gotten stronger because it wants to fight off the vaccine. It
hmm
don't want to die. It want to multiply, if you will, like they said back in the days with the baby kids. But that is true for every, just like you have to have people recommend that you take a flu shot every year, for example. And the reason why they recommend that you take a flu shot every year, because the flu replicates. It is not the same flu shot, the same type of flu every year. And so, but you can't, I don't think you should try to vilify people and make it seem like it. But we're having another super spread event because people are not getting vaccinated. That's not fair. Do you see what I'm saying? And I think that's what Ronnie
Yeah,
Q is
I don't
trying to
believe
say.
that in my mind. I don't believe that. I believe. And this is just my opinion, but I believe 50-50 chance. I believe if you get to, like, I mean, I just believe 50-50 chance. But
I believe you
also,
damned if you do, you damned if you don't. It's the luck of the
yeah,
draw. I feel you.
and I also believe in now don't everybody don't get mad at me, but I believe sometimes you got to take your health in your own care and be your own doctor. And I believe sometimes these people that are going in the hospital, it is a possibility that they could have been better off by staying at home and trying to take care of themselves. Because
I
I believe
totally
that
agree with you.
they're
We
guinea
know
pigging
that.
some of these people.
Well, we know that.
I
I mean,
totally agree with you there, and you
yeah,
go
me too.
and I tell you what, I'll go one step further. You have to know your body better than any doctor.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So you should know what your body can stand and what it can't stand
Yes.
before
Yes.
you make that decision. And that decision is obviously a personal choice. And
Yes.
once again, I will never vilify anybody if they decide to take the vaccine, and I
Me
wouldn't
either.
vilify anybody if they decided they weren't going to take it.
Right. Me either, Claude. Me either. You got to
Because
do the best for you.
I
My
can
issue,
understand both sides.
yeah, my main issue was the children 12 and under that
That
don't
don't have
have a choice in the matter. That was my issue. I hate that we got put all off to the side, but what is the deal with the children? They're focused on the babies. That
And
is really
why?
what I was trying to discuss.
And my thing is, why didn't they, when they considered coming up even with these vaccinations? This is the main thing that makes me personally not fully trust the vaccinations, because you want to give me something that you can't give my child, and you didn't even think about the kids under the age of 12 and what you could come up with for them.
I
So
mean,
that
they're trying to get it. They're doing studies and trying to get it approved.
I know that, but
A
that just
vaccine
ain't never good
approved.
enough for me.
But
I
they're also talking about side effects. We don't even know the long term effects right now our own self. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why I say you got to just do the best you can do for your family. You know what I mean? I'm not. I agree with everything everybody done said. You got to do the best that you can do for your family. I'm not trying to sway anybody one way or the other. Whether or not to take it is do the best, make an informed, do your research and make the choice that is right for you. But when it comes to these babies in these schools, they're not being given a choice.
Well, me, Libby, I'm gonna just say this, and this is my personal doing the best that I can do. I can't force myself to do something that I'm not sure about, and I ain't.
Well,
I
I
ain't.
mean, we already know what we're gonna do. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about these other kids.
Well, I'm
And
just
I
saying.
had talked about earlier. It's not just our kids in the family. It's people that can't be like us. It's people that don't even have options of not sending their kids to school because they don't know. That's why I want to focus on the kids, because they don't know that they have another option. And you letting your kid be a guinea pig. That's what I'm saying. You know. And somebody mentioned earlier about herd immunity. And they keep talking about this herd immunity, wanting to jumpstart herd immunity by everybody getting vaccinated. But how are you going to jumpstart herd immunity? And in my opinion, this is not in my opinion now, this is not a nature born virus. It is man made. So how are you going to jumpstart herd immunity when it's something that is not nature born in the first place?
Well, Miss Olivia,
In my opinion. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
well,
Ronnie Q.
well, Miss Olivia, if it's like you and I suspect, if it's not nature born, they already have the cure.
That,
So,
I
and
did that
if
too.
and like if you and I suspect, if they're using the kids for super spreaders, once they give it to all the parents and older people, and we die off, they will give the cure to all the young people and program them as they would have them, as they plan to program them,
Right,
and then they will start their new world order.
right.
So
Let me say
I just
allegedly.
wanted to
Yeah, you're
I
right.
just
Allegedly. Right. I
I,
got
it,
I gotta say
it, it,
allegedly, Ronnie Q. Yeah. Right.
allegedly.
Mhm.
So that's what I wanted to come up here and ask you. Did you hear about the Australian government
I
uh,
didn't see nothing.
using those terms, and the World Health Organization using those
Mhm.
terms? So
Mhm.
if you want to look into it, you
What
can.
the-
So
Yeah,
that
I
that
will.
was my whole point of coming back up here. So you
Yeah,
guys have a
Ronnie.
good day. Bye, Brandy.
Thank
Hey,
you,
Ronnie
Ronnie.
Q,
Yeah,
can
no, I
I
didn't
ask you
know
one
about that.
question?
Allegedly.
Can I
Yeah.
ask you one question, Ronnie Q? Uh, and I might be wrong about this. I don't know, but how long? Because I do know it's spreading right now. But how long do you think it's gonna take for things get back to where they was before? Like, not as far as the shutdown and stuff like that, but you remember when people start just dropping like flies and stuff? How much time do you think we have before that happens?
Well, I don't know. Now that I heard what the World Health Organization was saying, they
Hmm.
said that they didn't even predict how long. They said it will be a long time. Dr. Fauci was saying 2000 and 2023, But
Mhm.
the World Health Organization, the way they put it, they just said it will be a very long time before things will be back to where it was, if ever.
Mhm. Right.
If I think they said if ever.
If
Don't
ever.
quote
Yeah.
me on that.
That's why they keep saying the new normal, the new normal, the new normal.
No, I
Because
know that,
it's
y'all. I think
happening now.
maybe I said it wrong. I'm saying the thing is, we know it's getting worse and worse,
Yeah,
and
so you
and what I'm saying is I don't think it'll be for me personally. I don't think it'll be for winter getting good before we start seeing. Remember how we started seeing people they was just dropping like flies and they didn't even
Well,
have
people
no
dropping like
baby.
flies now, baby. People ain't never stopped dropping like
well,
flies. It's just
and
that
you
they don't want to report it.
but you
Oh,
got to think, it's summertime now.
Allegedly.
We're about to get into the winter season where people are more prone to catch flus and colds and
yeah.
things like that. So it's about to get worse.
Ugh.
Right.
We're in the summer seasons when people aren't prone to catch respiratory illnesses. So
Right.
it's about to get bad.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
All
what
right.
I'm
Well,
about.
I'm just I've given you guys a place to start to see if I'm correct. So if I'm wrong, don't f- don't be hesitant to say, Ronnie Q, you didn't know what the hell you was talking about. I ain't see that nowhere.
You a mess. But thank you
All
for
right.
letting me know about that, Ronnie, because I hadn't even heard about it, but I'm always trying to find out something new about what's going on in the realm of the
Yes, but
Rona.
Australia is on full lockdown again.
Wow. And we're doing everything we can in the States to avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
Not only this country, but several countries. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah.
right. Have a good day, ladies. I'll be in the
Thank you,
chat.
ma'am. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you for coming up. Well, y'all, or Brandy, thank you for coming up. Also, I really appreciate your input. But y'all, we've been on here almost 4 hours, 20 minutes shy of 4 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead on and get off of here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me and give your input. A lot of times on the channel, we'll start off talking about one thing, we'll end up talking about another thing, and and everything too here is alleged. Just let me say, when we started talking about the virus, everything is alleged. You guys do your own research. Do what is best for you. Make the choice that is best for you. Try to arm yourself as with as much knowledge as you can. While you are in the while you're trying to do what's best for you. That's the best thing that we can do, in my opinion. You know, but it's there's I really enjoyed this conversation. You know what I mean? All of the conversation. And if you guys haven't seen the beginning of the video, I hope that you will go back and hit that replay button, as well as that. Please hit that like button on your way out the door if you haven't already. And thanks you guys for being so interactive in the chat. And I just want to say that in case y'all didn't see it, that Tracy and this sexy person have been windmilling. I mean, have been battling, not windmilling. They have been battling the whole time we have been having this conversation, okay? And Tracy, the reason why I didn't stop it and block them out is because, girl, you was holding your own, okay? If you got tired of talking about the virus, you could go down here in the comment section and look at Tracy battle royling it with the sexy person. It was on and popping. Okay. Yeah, they been going off, Choreo lover. Okay. Woo, Tracy said, I love this dragon. So that's the reason why this topic, because honey, they've been battling. Okay, it was a whole other set of drama. It was a whole Thunderdome in the comment section, if you will. Okay. It was Tracy versus the sexy Dexy person or whatever. And so we had 2-3 different live streams going on at one time, y'all. But anyway, let me Miss Johnson say correct. Let me get off here and thank you so much, Tracy Child. Thank you, and thank you, Sexy, too, because y'all was both holding y'all own, child. I was getting my whole life down, and I was like, wait, what? But we all know Tracy can hold her own. It ain't a problem. It ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Tracy's skin is just as tough as mine. So that, in case you guys wonder why I didn't stop it, because why? They got it. That's why I didn't stop it. You know what I mean? But I really appreciated all the conversations in the chat as well as up on the panel. Thank you guys for giving your input. On-site April had some wonderful advice. I can't wait to go check out her community wall. And once again, y'all be safe out there, okay? Please do what's best for you. Please do what's best for your babies. Okay, that's my issue when it comes to this whole thing. Please do what's best for your children because they don't have a choice, you know. And so it's just it's crazy. It scares me to death about the babies. That's what that's my issue right now, you know. But anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Be safe out there, okay? Bye bye. Peace.